what's her name?
Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Hello.
Welcome.
Don't make me feel bad right now because it's your fault.
When you put it like that, yes, of course, you were my first love.
You just said no.
Don't look at girls, okay? Like I told you. Then be better. We got a huge fight because he's sitting next to a girl on the plane. You're doing it continuously. You don't care. If you want that, then go.
Did you not say that?
Then go back. Don't look at girls. Behave.
Tell your family I'm not the toxic one.
And I'll be damned if I watch my son ruin his life over this obsession that he has with a girl he's never met.
I was not lying about the title. This is actually the most toxic girl I have ever seen on the show 90 Day Fiance. And that is saying something because 90 Day Fiance is a toxic waste factory. It makes people who are in relationships question how other people are in such relationships. And it makes single people say, why? Why? Sorry. I'm just saying, this show really makes you question your sanity. And if I've found the most toxic person on this show, you're gonna probably want to watch this. The couple is Brandan and Mary. What's his name? Brandan and Mary. It's kind of hard to even focus on his name because he comes from a place called Eugene, which only makes me think of the fact that he's like, I'm in Eugene right now. And that's Mr. Krabs' first name. So anyway, he's from there, is America, and Mary is a virgin and from the Philippines, so she's Virgin Mary. Now on paper, these two are 23 years old apiece. They have both fallen in love with each other after having pretty toxic relationships and both have been cheated on, and they found solace in each other. It should be the start of a beautiful romantic Shakespearean love story. It is not. It's more like if Shakespeare had a drinking problem and wrote everyone to be mean. That's what this is. This is a new form of love that we're about to see, and it starts off with a long-distance couple that cannot stay off the phone because they need to be on the phone 24/7 watching each other's every move because they don't trust each other. That's how you start a great relationship love story. I don't trust you, I need to watch you 24/7. Amazing. Now, if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you do. If not by now, maybe if you watch the video, by the end of it, you'll feel like doing it. And if you want me to cover any other couples or any other videos, please hit me up on my Instagram, 16leo. That way you can tell me which couple you want me to see next. I actually have a few of these 90-day contestants follow me. Kind of scared because I'm going to talk about one that follows me in the next video. I don't think she's gonna like it. All right. So this love story starts off with someone, it sounds like a saxophone's having an orgasm or something, I don't know why. And then I actually saw that it's because Brandan is actually taking his pants off. So we're starting right in the middle of this action, basically. But instead of actually taking off his pants to do the dirty, he's doing a different kind of dirty. He's actually just taking a dump. That's the first scene in their love story. Brandan takes a dump. It's kind of metaphorical because she takes a dump over Brandan's life. So it's almost poetic in a way. But right now, Brandan is putting his phone up so he can take a dump while his long-distance girlfriend watches him drop the kids off at school. Already, I could love someone a lot, but not enough to say, honey, let me watch you make that brown porridge that you make so well.
Well,
My name is Brandan. I'm 23 years old. I live in Eugene, Oregon, and this is my girlfriend, Mary.
That's a phone, Brandan. That's a Samsung H Deluxe fucking Happy Kids Meal menu phone, okay? Just get out of here with that. Oh, God. I guess this is how relationships go. There's nothing wrong with being in a long-distance relationship. You have to put the work in. Everybody knows that at this point. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of trust. But these two don't have that. This man is pooping while she's watching. If she blinks, he might run away. Why is she watching him poop? Does she like it? I don't think so. Let me tell you why.
She's 23 years old, but she lives in the Philippines. I spend every single hour, every single minute, every single second on video call with Mary.
That's a red flag, Brandan. It's a red flag, buddy. buddy boy. He looks like Toby Maguire before like Uncle Ben fucked off. Sorry. Every second, every hour, every minute. This is like the Police song, I'll be watching you. I can't sing it, I'll get copyrighted. So I'll sing it off key or badly. I will be watching you is kind of like what she's doing.
Every single day. I love you, Bobby.
Oh my god, who takes a shit and then says I love you? Nobody does that. Nobody puts there like, oh, this one's dedicated to you, Bobby. That's what he calls her, which just, I don't know why I find that funny. Dedicated to you, Bobby. That's for you, baby. I mean, Bobby.
We started to be on the phone more and more and more until it just became a mutual agreement that we would just be on the phone 24/7.
That's, again, a red flag. Actually, I feel like we should get ourselves a little paper or something, because I want to actually explain why I feel like she's the most toxic person. I feel like I need to have something called a cry counter. I feel like I need to explain the actions that she's doing and why I feel like that's not okay. So I think I'll be back in a second. Just give me 1 second, okay? Yes, Mary. Problems with Mary board plus a cry counter. I think we're gonna need that. Problem number 1. I know this boy says it's mutual, that they decided that they're going to stay on call 24/7, and maybe it's a bit of both of their problems, but I think that is a huge red flag. You can't know where someone is all the time. Ross said it best. Remember when Emily and Ross on Friends were like having that thing, and she's like, I need to know where you are all times, and he's like, you can't know every time, and then she broke up with him. That was such a tangent. My point is, that's what this is. 24/7 on call. Not a good thing if the reason is not that you actually just love them so much, but you just need to know where they are at all times. That is an exercise of a lack of trust and really not good for a stable relationship. Let's continue.
As long as I have internet connection or I have data, we do everything on the phone. Go into the shower with our phone. We'll do phone sex.
God damn, dude, you just threw it out there like it was, we'll do everything together. Cook, phone sex, and even cook. Why'd you throw it out like that? Oh, it was implied, man. You said take a shit together. I thought so. I didn't need to hear it, bro. Brandon has a third wheel in a relationship, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed. It's his tripod, which he must take everywhere. Can you imagine people seeing him? They're like, oh, that's Brandon and his phone girlfriend again. They're getting cookies and cream ice cream. He's just putting the phone up damn counter there. Oh my god. I bet you he doesn't use Apple Pay, because if he does this with his phone, she'll be like, where are you? Damn, Brandon.
You're so beautiful when you're sleeping.
Ah, that's how it looks, huh? You guys ever done that? Phone kissed? Phone... Did a smoochies? I did it. I've done it a few times. Mwah, mwah. I did it to a cat before. Cat didn't care. It looks horrible. I don't think anybody does it and it looks good. No problem, Brandon. Everyone does that.
Me and Mary have been dating online for over 2 years, but we've never met in person.
Oh, okay. 2 years of dating, no meeting. Now, I'd be a liar if I said that's like, oh, it's too long. Some people really, their circumstances don't line up and they're working towards it. That shows commitment, if anything. So I don't think that's a red flag. I think that's just people very much trying to be together. But the truth is, it's not people trying to be together. It's definitely skewed because Brandon's the one from America and he wants to move to the Philippines. See, Brandon hasn't had a good upbringing and his current situation is not exactly indicative of someone who wants to live in America. So his plan is to save up enough money to move to see Mary in the Philippines, and he does not want to return.
Because a ticket to the Philippines is really freaking expensive. Like, I'm currently living in an RV outside of my godparents' house.
You should break bad. Don't break wind in front of Mary. Break bad. Have you ever watched that show? Does Mary let you watch shows? You know, there's some girls in that show. Anyway, my point is, you have an RV. Make meth. Who said that?
Little driver's section, TV, an actual bed, kitchen.
As opposed to a metaphorical bed that some of us have. I sleep on my broken dreams every night. How about you guys?
Instead of paying rent here, I just help my godparents with chores and odd jobs around the house. My mom and my dad split up when I was about 3 or 4 years old.
Feels, Brandon, feels. It's a very tough situation. I mean, I gotta say, firstly, all jokes aside, this boy has done very well for himself to not be in a worse position, in a position of danger. He's done well, and he has people who look out for him. And I say this knowing that his parents split up. Actually, is very sad. His mom sort of had like a problem with addiction. She was battling with that, and she lost custody of him. And his godparents took him in, and they gave him that RV for privacy and stuff. They don't make him pay rent. So he has people who watch out for him, but also at the same time, come on, that's a really tough life to be doing at such a young age. I gotta give him props. Brandan deserves some respect.
My mom lost custody because she failed a drug test. I spent 3 years living with my dad. He was really demanding and hostile.
Okay, so Brandan ends up with his godparents. He goes on a dating app. He doesn't say which one, which is a little concerning. It's just slightly concerning because when you hear Mary's side, she's like, I went on an app to find American men. So specifically, these two are like, I am not looking in my own country, which is like, I mean, like, I guess you know what you want, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you're looking for love, but like not in your country because you're like, oh, it's, you know what I mean? Some American guy, the older guys, it's kind of like a fetish. Okay, anyway, he sees Mary, and my God, look at the picture right there. Mary looks like she's airbrushed to perfection. This girl is... God, that's a 10 out of 10 right there. Look at that.
When I looked at Mary's pictures, I thought she was out of my league.
Oh, she's out of this world. She looks like a singer from the late 90s. Damn. Give me some of that, please, Mrs. Jackson. I don't know what the fuck that was.
But then we started talking for like 5 days straight, and I'm like, no, someone like me could ever be in a relationship with someone like that, but it just happened.
Okay, so here's another red flag. I don't know if I can write this one down, but I think it's very important that people understand that if you find someone and you think that they're out of your league, then they're probably out of your league. There is no point in even having a relationship if you think they're so much better than you that you're struggling to even keep up just to appease them. There has to be some sort of level playing field. I'm not saying like you can't think like that's your better half. You know, some people are like, how am I even in the same room with you? It's not really a relationship. That's more of a one-sided thing. And it gets really unfair because then one person is allowed to make tons of mistakes and the other person is not allowed to do anything. They walk on eggshells. If they do anything wrong, they have to make up for it because the other person knows they have the power. It's not really a good idea to give someone so much power. I'm just saying. I don't know if it's a red flag. I'm just saying.
She's the top #1 student in her class. She's the top dancer on a dance team.
She just shook her ass. Is this really? That's all it took? She's the #1 dancer in the Philippines because she shook her ass? Okay. Bruno Mars, watch out.
She donates her time to charity and churches, teaching children how to read the Bible, and she's just a...
I like that. I donate my time to charity. I like that shit, bro. You know when they like knock on your door, they're like, will you like to pledge $15 a month? I've just pledged 15 seconds of my time, you bitch. Get out.
Really wonderful person. Mary is the first person who's ever made me feel good enough. My world was black and white before she came, and now it's just colorful.
Okay, lovely. That's toxic. Let me explain why. He had a black and white world. I'm just gonna write black world. Don't know if that's okay to write, but before Mary. Okay, now, when you get a bit older, then you start to realize why that's wrong. It sounds hella romantic, let me be honest. It's like, before I met you, I was nothing. Now that I met you, I feel something. It's amazing. You know, people say it in movies. It's like the guy holds the boombox and doesn't get electrocuted in the rain somehow. It's very pretty to say stuff like that. But realistically, what it means is that you're putting so much dependency on someone. You're becoming so codependent on someone to make you happy that if that person goes, your happiness goes. And that is a very tough place to be as a human being, because ideally, what you should feel is I'm happy or I'm content with where I am. When I see you, you make me happier. If you leave, I won't have nothing. My world won't go back to black and white. I would just be very sad if you leave. And that's a very realistic thought. It's not as romantic, but I feel like it's necessary to avoid toxicity. So it sounds like Brandan is like, he just saw a way out of his current life and was like, wow, this is a window into the new life. And now because of her having all the highs, he's willing to put up with so much. I know this, Brandan, because it happened to me when I was younger. I get it. It's happened, and it's a really bad place to be, bro. That move, by the way, is the same as Conan O'Brien, so you should watch him. He makes my world complete. Conan, love you, bro.
This plane ticket is something I look at every single day, and I cross off till I get there. I haven't had a great experience living in America so far.
Bro, I just want to say, this America is going like... Because remember in the 90s, everyone was like, America! When I was growing up, I used to watch movies and be like, damn, look at their hamburgers. Now I'm like, damn, look at their country. I still love America, by the way, I just want to say. But like some people are having a tough time. I've watched 90 Day Fiance this season and seen quite a few people be like, I would love to defect from America. I don't see myself being here. That's crazy. Because my dream was always to go to America. It's like the coolest place, but okay. Wow.
I'm moving to the Philippines, and I just can't wait to finally be together with Mary. We are very obsessed with each other, honestly.
That's very nice, but also not very nice. You know what I mean, Brandan?
I've sent Mary some shirts that I would wear. I would sweat in them, and...
Son, that's not a shirt. That's a tree that you put on a piece of cotton. That seems like a war crime.
Make them smell like me, get some BO in there, and then I'd ship them over to Mary, and she would put them on or put it on a pillow and sleep with it.
In theory, very cute. In actuality, I feel like he's taking a shit in that shirt and then sending it over so Mary has the shit BO of Brandan. Also, brother, I know that your fashion game cannot be trees. This is too southern even for me. I mean, God. It was trees, bro. Do you think she's camouflaging herself? Do you really think... Okay, bro. Gotta up your fashion game, son.
And she did the same thing for me. She also has 8 tattoos total. 2 or 3 of them have my name on it.
You guys haven't met and you got tattooed. Alright, okay. It's one of those teenage loves, isn't it? Where it's like a bit too fast, everything. Everyone who's a bit older is like, oh shit, they're gonna crash. You know what they say, the faster you go, the harder you crash. It's kind of crazy. She got tattoos of his name already. She ain't even met him. Oh my god, what if he changed his name to Brandan instead of Brandan?
Don't hold your face.
When I get there, I just hope that we won't be fighting.
We fight a lot because we're so far away.
So this is the first time we get a little inclination into the fact that they might be not as obsessed or, I guess, you know, have some issues. And Brandan explains that they fight a lot. And just the words, we've been fighting a lot, seem to make Mary want to fight some more. Can you imagine saying we've been fighting a lot and then like someone's like, yeah, and now's another fight. It's like, okay. So Mary seems to think it's because they're far away that they're fighting. Once they're closer, they'll be in love. But that's a good theory, Mary. I don't know enough to say enough.
I can't just go out and talk to receptionist or cash register without me and you fighting.
It would be very tough if you talked to a cash register, okay? I would start fighting with you if you started like, hello, oh, you got some money in you, tickle, tickle. That would be very, very weird. There's a problem though, is that Mary is jealous. And she's jealous of Brandan to the point that he cannot look at another girl. He cannot be in the same room with another girl because Mary doesn't trust him. Mary doesn't trust him, not because Brandan did something, but because something else happened in her past that makes her not trust people in her present, which is a huge red flag, but I will tell you about that in a second. The point is, if you do something the same amount of times that you shit a day, which is fight, that's not good, okay? Pooping is a necessity, fighting is not, okay? Cool.
Don't make me feel bad right now because it's your fault.
I love that. I love that.
Every relationship have fights, so we can avoid fights.
Can't avoid fights. Can't avoid. That's it. Don't make me feel bad right now, because it's all your fault. That's pretty much sums up Mary. She plays the victim, then she'll blame him, and then explain why this thing has to happen. You can't avoid fights. Oh my god, that's unreal. That's like driving a car and saying, I can't avoid crashes. I just crash into everyone. Yes, you can, woman. Yes, you can.
Parts in my relationship with Mary have become tumultuous and toxic. I'm heading down to the dentist's office right now.
So we catch up with Brandan again. Like I said, this is a deep dive. I'm doing the whole season. I cut 10 hours of this for you. Thank you. You're welcome. And now he's going to the dentist. My question is, why not use your house, Brandan? Your house has wheels. It's actually such a I can't drive my house anywhere. That's crazy. You can drive your house there. Just do it.
She's very clingy, and I really like that because our exes cheated on us and contributes to our insecurities and jealousy issues.
All right. Okay, I held it off for long enough. This is a red flag for both of them. Their past dictates dick. I'm gonna just write dick. Present. Class is in session, folks. I say this all the time. If you are trying to run from your past and trying to get to your future, you might miss what your present actually holds for you. Come on. He literally just said the problem here. He said their exes both cheated, so it made them insecure. Now you got two insecure people in a relationship. How the hell is that gonna work? Firstly, to even heal one person needs to be secure. If both of you guys are super insecure, how is that gonna work? That's gonna be a lot of work being put in. Secondly, I feel like you need to do healing before you even get into a relationship if you can't even trust the person that you're in a relationship with. It doesn't work to put your insecurities of someone else onto another person who hasn't done anything because of how someone else treated you. I understand being human. Of course you're going to feel certain ways. You're going to feel scared. But if you really care about the person, you shouldn't hold them to the standard that the last person did something to make you feel. There's no way that will ever work. If someone unfortunately cheated on you, it doesn't mean the next person will. You should trust your judgment at least. Or at least that you have better judgment after that person. Right?
Who's gonna clean your teeth?
I believe what she said is, who's cleaning your teeth? I think that's my translation.
I don't know their name.
Brandon,
Hey,
you ready to come on back?
yes I am.
All right, follow me.
Oh shit, Audrey. Oh, maybe Mary has a point. God, she can clean my teeth any day through the mosque.
In Mary's dream world, I wouldn't be able to talk to another woman, even at like a grocery store. She gets insecure and jealous, and it can turn into a huge fight.
Okay, well that's not good that like Martin Luther King had the dream, people are all equal. Mary has a dream that Brandon can't do fuck all. Those are two different. Mary had a little lamb, Mary had a fucking dream. It's very different. Don't like that, Brandon. But anyway, he's just going to get his teeth cleaned. And then the most awkward situation I've ever seen occurs. Brandon, he's like, I thought he was joking about the 24/7 thing. He was not. He literally puts a phone up on the dentist office while he's getting his teeth cleaned. And he asks her and she's like, yeah, you can. She can watch.
Is it okay if I put the phone up somewhere?
And what's her name?
Mary?
Hey, Mary. I've never had a patient bring somebody else on video call.
Honestly, that's a patient from a different clinic at this point. I can't believe that this is actually happening. That's so awkward, dude. Oh.
I start to get anxious and tense up when I'm around other women now because I don't want to fight with Mary every single time I'm interacting with another woman.
Do you not think that reaction is indicative of some sort of red flag that women make you tense up because of your current girlfriend and her possible reaction to women existing in front of you? Is that not a huge indicator that that is not a good feeling for you to have anxiety for other women existing around you? Is that nothing? Nothing, Brandon? All right.
Is this your first love?
What the fuck question is that? I thought you was gonna say, is this your first time at the dentist? Is this your first love? Oh my god, I've never had a dentist ask me to open my mouth and then ask, do you swallow? I was like, bro, are you kidding me? Oh god, this is not a good question to ask at a dentist place, I gotta say.
No, it's not.
That's not a good answer, considering you know that Mary is not going to be happy that you said that. But there it is. There, within 2 seconds, her face goes from normal to...
Are you crying?
Mary then gets so awkward that she starts crying to the point the dentist has to leave.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're...
Cry counter number 1. Okay.
You lied to me. You said I'm your first love, but now you said I'm not.
What she means by that is like first girlfriend.
I have an ex too, but he's not my first love.
Well, then why'd you go out with him? You just go out with anyone off the street? I thought you have to love someone to go out with them. God. He's not my first love. He's not my last. You are, Brandan. You are everything to me. This is an accent that I do. It's part European. Part, yeah.
When you put it like that, yes, of course you are my first love.
You just said no.
Anytime I've made Mary upset, or I've caused her pain, or I was talking to a girl in a certain tone of voice, I feel like I've let her down.
God. This is a really bad relation. I'm just write this down. She cried at dentist over first love. All right. Surely you know that your partner has had someone. I mean, you guys talked about your exes. I don't know. Maybe there's a possibility he loved her. That's why he didn't leave her. I don't know what to say. That's crazy. Oh, man. That's crying at a dentist's office when you're trying to get a dental cleanup about a relationship is wild.
Mary, you are my first love.
You know what love is? You know what love is? What love is?
Baby, I really didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
People back in like the 70s, imagine them like going through a time machine watching this, and they're like watching this on a screen and it's like, Babby, I'm sorry, I love you. Do you know how people from the 70s be like, man, I do cocaine, but this is wrong. You're talking to a telephone, sir. It's just weird to see someone like pour out their feelings to a Samsung 2G maximum overdrive or whatever phones are nowadays.
I'm definitely ready to go all in and give up everything for her.
The dentist actually left, by the way. The dentist never came back. He never got his teeth cleaned. Not only are his teeth dirty, but so is his life. God, Brandon, get it done. Jeez. Ugh. Okay, so that's Brandon. Now we finally meet Mary from her perspective, and I feel like that's important to also understand. I'm trying to be objective here.
I'm Mary and I live in Cantonese, Philippines, and I am 23. When I was 8 months, my parents left me and my brother. My grandparents are the one who raised us.
In a very sad, almost mirror of Brandon's situation, you can see Mary's complications started early as well because her parents, for whatever reason, up and left. And she was raised by her grandparents and still are raised by her grandparents. So she doesn't feel like she has that same sort of love and kinship from her family. The same thing that Brandon has. And it is very sad. And it will cause a lot of issues because I heard this thing that says like most of your adult life, you're just trying to undo the issues that your parents have created. And I don't know if that's true, but I know for certain families it might be. And I feel very sorry for these two, knowing that they grew up in that situation. It doesn't excuse you from being toxic because it never really does. But I'm trying to understand and I can see where it starts.
I still have that feeling that anybody that I will love will leave me.
So she has abandonment issues. And I know a lot about that. I don't want to get too much into my life, but I've got pretty similar, in a sense, that stuff. And yeah, I get it. It's not easy, but you have to make a change for yourself in order for you to live a better life. It's not for other people, but you have to let that go, Mary. You gotta let it go. You got Brandan. He's one of the most popular people in the RV, okay? It's just him.
I really want to see you dance because it'll help me have sweet dreams.
Dance, dance, dance.
Never mind. I don't know what the hell I was saying. God. Brandon's horny at night, so he's like, I want to see you dance. And then she doesn't have any music, so she just says, dance, dance, dance revolution, I'm jacking you up. So she does her dance. This is why she's #1 Filipino dancer in all of Philippines.
And also, I used to be one of the member of competitive dance team, and I was modeling too.
Okay, wow. Those pictures really don't look like her anymore. But anyway.
My ex-boyfriend, he cheated many times, so I go to the dating site and look for American because I love Harry Potter and Justin Bieber.
All right, so Mary basically says her ex cheated for like lots and she used to be like the hottest thing in the Philippines, and because her boyfriend cheated, she went to find an American boy and she cites Harry Potter and Justin Bieber. Harry Potter, of course, is fictional and English, and Justin Bieber is Canadian. So she went 0 for 2 there. But anyway, nobody said Mary was the smartest #1 student except Brandon.
Honestly, I fell in love with Brandan when I...
Oh, okay, yeah, it's that kind of love. She did one of these, and he did one of these, and then now they're married. They got it, yeah. They both did fork knife emojis. Now they're fused together. Got it. Gen Z.
I first saw his profile. He's very handsome and cute, and I love his eyes.
Yeah, he looks like the bastard son of PewDiePie. Sorry, Pewds. So I get it. And PewDiePie is a handsome dude, so.
He really looks like Justin Bieber and Harry Potter.
Oh my god, no, he doesn't. Don't. Justin, okay.
We're excited.
She fetishized him. So normally you get the older guys looking for Asian people, like Big Ed. And the first time we saw him, you feel like a lot of American guys say, I can't get an American girl, or I can't compete with other American men, so I'll go to the Philippines or countries where the American dollar is stronger and the perception of men is that most people are like, wow, they can provide for me. And the American men know that that's how they're perceived, so they go with that fetishization. Mary is like, he looks like, oh man, Justin Bieber, he looks like all those hot guys. This is a hot white man right there, I like that. So she's doing the exact same thing. I did not know that. Mary, huh? Damn. She's like the Big Ed of ladies. Big Ed debt.
It was really my idea to be on the phone all the time, 24/7, because I love Brandan so much and I don't want to lose him.
That's not why you're on the phone 24/7, love. That is not at all why you're on the phone 24/7. That's not because you don't trust him. It's literally the opposite. If you loved him, you wouldn't be on the phone 24/7 because you wouldn't need to wonder where he is at all times. You'd trust him enough to not have to have like this surveillance system you've got going on there. I don't believe that shit for a second. Sorry, but I don't.
But even though I loved him so much,
Do they have a picture of them and they haven't met? That's gangsta. They photoshopped them together before they manifested them being together. That's beautiful right there. I saw that.
I sometimes unplug the router. I tell him that we have power outages. It's only because my friends and Brandan get jealous.
Let me write that down. She unplugs plus lies. Let's just say lies. So she basically lies to Brandan so she can hang out with her guy friends because she feels like Brandan gets jealous. Whereas she watches him 24/7 because she gets jealous if he so much as goes to the dental office to get his teeth cleaned. Do we see why I call her the most toxic girl? So she gaslights him and lies to him. This is where that relationship's going. Brandan has nothing to worry about for these guys. What the hell? Why is Brandan, is he jealous of them? This is the homies.
And I don't know how much I will be hanging out with them when he gets here.
When he arrived, what you're going to do?
I'm gonna say something now. Like, Mary's friends are actual G's. All of them are like my 3 favorite people in this whole series. I love them. They're awesome. They hold Mary accountable later, foreshadowing. But they just seem like nice dudes. I don't know how you could even be jealous of them. They just seem like the homies, man.
Maybe kiss.
After that, what we say about American? It's your first time.
Yeah, it's my first time. I'm a Catholic.
Shit, she's a Catholic. Damn. I've never heard someone say it like that. I thought it was Catholic. I'm a Catholic. I drink Cathahol. Okay. All right, so Mary is Virgin Mary, like I said. And this is something that, like, later on, I'm just gonna at least say because I feel like it's worth mentioning, but she constantly references her religion and her religious beliefs, and then always, every single time, breaks it without even thinking about the consequences. And all I'm saying, I don't care. All I'm saying is, if you have these beliefs, what's the point if you're just gonna break them whenever you want to? Imagine if you were on a diet, and then every day you're like, fuck it, I'll have a hamburger. At some point, it's like, why did you even say you were on a diet? There's nothing wrong, but like, why are you saying it?
My grandparents raised me, so I am a virgin. I have never been touched, I've never been kissed, even with my ex.
You've never touched? He didn't touch you? What kind of relationship was like, high five, don't touch me though? Oh my God, I can see, well, that relationship was never gonna last then. You pretty much had a long distance relationship. It was just very close long distance.
They said American have a big penis that my friends will tell me.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
All right, well, that's good. I'm gonna get, okay, good for them, good for everyone. Oh no.
I have this friend, Brandan is jealous about it, and he wants me to stop dance, so I stopped dancing. And then I lost my scholarship because of that.
You'd mean to tell me you were ass twerking and you had a scholarship and then you lost it because of Brandan? Girl, you deserve better. Oh my God. You could not, why would you do that? Oh, that's Brandan. Oh, my dance, and then what did she say? And
then I stopped my modeling because he's jealous of my pictures.
Oh my God. Yep. She's out there she's out there attention seeking. Okay, I just want to say, again, foreshadowing, those pictures, like, it's well and good to put those up, but if you're gonna limit Brandan to seeing any girls ever, then you can almost already see how this might not be, like, that's pretty hypocritical. I'm just saying. But anyway, apparently Brandan was so jealous that she dropped out of school and stopped modeling because of it. So she stopped doing stuff that she liked because of his jealousy. Not good.
If I didn't, I will lose Brandan.
But kung wala trust, wala love.
If it didn't work out, I will become a nun.
Okay, so two things that happened there. One of her friends said the most important quotes in the series. He said, if there's no trust, then there's no love. And he's absolutely right. And then basically Mary says, if I don't get with Brandan, I'll become a nun. And honestly, I feel like they should have the air horns, and then she should have like turned to the camera and been like, because I ain't getting none. And then they should have It would have been really funny. I don't think 90 Day Fiance does that, but that's a really like all or nothing thing, huh? It's Brandan or bust, or at least busting Brandan's nuts. Sorry. Wow. This is definitely, there's a lot weighing on Brandan.
I'm moving to the Philippines to be with Mary in about a week.
So, it's 1 week till Brandan moves completely over to the Philippines and his mom and family come to visit him. They're not very happy that he's moving, and it seems that Mary does not like Brandan's family because there are girls in his family.
I've invited my mom and my siblings over so we could spend some time together before I leave. Baby, say hello.
There's a absolute awkward meeting of the families where Babby, she just waves and she doesn't say hello. And we get a look at Brandon's family. I'll never not think his name is Brandan because they spell Brandon with an A-N. That's Brandan, okay? Those are two names that you just shoved together.
I have absolutely no respect for her.
I'm sorry I haven't been able to come over to your house.
Because it's a house full of women and Mary's not okay with that.
All right, Mary, let me explain something to you. I know they might seem like Southerners. This is not Sweet Home Alabama. I'm pretty sure this man can keep it in his pants around his mom and half-sister unless you've been watching too much of some sort of website in which you think he's gonna be like, sister, no. Really, Mary? I don't know. That is a huge red flag. He can't be around his family. I have lots of cousins I love. They're girls. If I had a girlfriend who was like, don't be around your cousins, I'd be like, that was really gross. Jealous of his family. You mean to tell me if his family was all guys, she'd be fine with him being there, but because it's girls, she's not okay with him being around his own family? Okay.
Why does she get so upset about it?
Because
you're hot. That's why. Imagine if he said that. That would have been like, ugh.
her ex before me would cheat on her.
But not with his family, though. Right? Right. Can someone help me here?
Is she working on it? Does she want to get better?
In the 2 years that you guys have been together, it hasn't grown into anything beautiful.
Exactly, Snake Lady. That's true. And she's right. And I don't even know you guys for that long, but she's right. But at this point, Babby comes in, she starts chiming in, and she's like angry enough to start talking.
That's what you think.
It's reality because you guys have built a foundation on jealousy and distrust.
And Mary's crying again. All right. So, is it really a good relationship of any kind if a person cannot express their feelings of frustration or unhappiness without the other person crying or making themselves seem like a victim in which you have to stop your train of thought? Because if you can't say what you need to say, and this always happens, then you never truly will say what you're feeling, which is not good now, is it?
Mary's very upset and crying.
What we're saying is not invalid.
In my opinion, you're choosing Mary over your family.
At this point, my boy Jaden chimes in, the little bro of Brandan, and he literally says the most gangster shit I've ever heard this little boy say. This little man is gonna grow up to be a good dude. He said, in my opinion, he started off by saying, this is just my opinion, but you're choosing her over your own family, bro. That's crazy. Little bro, his big bro.
I miss my brother.
Cut the bull crap.
Oh, okay, wow. Tough reaction. I miss my brother. Shut the hell up. I'm not your brother. I don't even like you.
I haven't been inside of your guys' life most of your life.
Why are you pointing to your little brother when you say that? I haven't been inside your life, little man. I don't know nothing about your Lego life there.
Because you were making food with me? For some reason, she didn't like that? Like, I want to be able to spend my holidays with you.
She's threatened by this girl who's his half-sister. I'm genuinely concerned at the fact that Mary might think that because it's his half-sister, one of them is going to make a move on each other. I'm seriously not... I think that's what she's thinking because they grew up together, Mary. Oh my God. What do you think? This is Woody Allen?
She doesn't get to have you all to herself 24/7. It's not right. Your guys' relationship is pretty toxic.
Woo! Mama Bear comes in with she just says it's really toxic. So it's 1 week before, and I don't know if this is the right time for the mom to start saying this now, but it's a bit late. Brandan already has his ticket he saved up. It's been a long time. It's been 2 years. But she is telling him how she feels.
Tell your family I'm not the toxic one.
My son ruin his life over this obsession that he has with a girl he's never met.
The mom comes in really strong, saying like she will literally drag herself and make sure that Brandan is not making the wrong decision, which is good, but Brandan also has every right to be not okay with it because the mom didn't really help him grow up, or like he's not even living with her at this point. So I feel like Brandan is entitled to make this decision, but at the same time, the mom is pretty much right.
I know she claims to love you, and I know that you believe she does, but I have yet to see it.
The episode ends with Mary crying and putting her phone down because she's sad that the mom says that she doesn't see the love, and it looks very toxic, and I don't know what else you're gonna... Like, I don't know what else to say. The mom was just being the mom.
Is there gonna be cell service when we get to the river spot?
Yeah.
So after meeting that family, Brandan gets one more time... Sorry, he gets like a few days to spend with his godparents, and they go fishing. And the godparents are much more lenient. They're more like, hey buddy, it's your decision at the end of the day. And they're trying to get him to not go, but at the same time they're very gentle. And I just feel like Brandan has such good support back at home. Kind of on some level, I feel like he's a good kid too. So I feel like it's almost sad watching someone make maybe a decision they might regret later on in life. But here it is.
We tried to pick somewhere that had a little bit of service.
The last time I tried to go fishing, Mary thought that I was
fucking fish. Is it a stretch that I said that? Is it really?
Cheating on her with someone else.
See? Cheating on her with a great giant whale. Cheating on her with a shark. You have shark teeth marks on your penis. Why? Explain that.
So I have to be on the phone with Mary when I go, or we have a really big fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna put that at the red flag because there's so much left. She thought he was cheating when he was fishing. Fishing for bitches? Really?
I also grew up with his mother. You know, if Brandan needed me, I would try to be there as much as I possibly could.
Whoever this man is a good dude. I forget his name. I'm pretty sure it said it and I just didn't look. But this is Brandan's goddad, and he's a good dude, man. Brandan definitely has had like some decent support from these two. Not everyone gets that, where someone else steps in and says, I will take care of you like you're my son. So there's good folk to exist.
Since being with Mary, he doesn't go out and do barely anything anymore. Mary awake?
Nah, she's sleeping.
Yeah, so they go fishing. I cut that part out, but they ask, are you sure this is the right decision? He says yes. And, they're okay with him doing it. So at this point, it's a go from Brandan. He's definitely going to the Philippines. In fact, he's having a house built for him and Mary. Every week that he's been working for 2 years, he's been sending over money to have a house built. This man is 23 and he built a damn house. That's pretty amazing.
Mary and I decided to build a house for ourselves in the Philippines. All my paychecks, $50,000, $60,000.
I gotta say, that's amazing. However you put it, like Brandan might be like, he might have some tendencies that are not good. He might need some self-love and to learn. But deep down, he doesn't seem like a bad dude. Like he's able to do things that I'm sure most people that age are not even capable of. I know when I was 23, I did not have $60,000 to spend on random Filipino woman. I don't have that now. So that's good work, Brandan. Good work.
The whole control thing. You end up losing the job because you guys have a fight about it.
The whole trust issue is a big deal, dude. It'll destroy you.
So the godparents, in the nicest way, bring up some of the biggest issues that Brandan faces with Mary, and one of them being the fact that he's lost jobs. He said that he can't take Mary off the phone, and they're like, are you kidding me, bro? Get out. And then the other problem is that there is a clear lack of trust, and the longer that goes on, the more this relationship might strain. Look, when you're young, you don't have responsibilities and ties and commitments, so it becomes easier to be like, okay, I'm gonna let this one go. When you get to an age where you get a bit older, you might have commitments where it becomes harder to cut those ties with, and that's when real stuff starts to like affect you. It's a hard thing to see. People can't see into the future, but the godparents at least put that forward. Brandan's like, yep, consider that, still want that ass. Thank you. Amen.
I've had many odd jobs in my life, bagging windows, washing groceries, but I've lost about 3 or 4 of them because of my relationship with Mary.
He bagged some windows, he washed groceries, he became a delivery deli. He did a lot of things in his life, okay? He got that money. He's a hustler, baby. kind of person.
It's your decision, I guess. So support you in what you're gonna decide to do. Smile.
Man, these godparents are so... Can they adopt me? They're so cute. This man caught the smallest fish, and they're like, smile, let me take a picture of you. Oh, I guess my only thing, by the way, I guess I can say it now, is don't rush to grow up. You know, I don't know why 23-year-olds want to get married if you don't have to. Like, sure, if you find someone that you love, of course. But, like, there isn't a rush. Sometimes it might be worth it to wait and then find someone you're truly happy with, because nobody want to get married and then be miserable. I can't imagine how many people actually feel that way but don't say anything because other people might look down on them for thinking that way. It's tough.
I hope everything works out, but she's always made it so toxic.
Today is the day that I finally get to travel to the Philippines and try.
Today is the day that I tell you that you need to up your shirt game, bro. I don't know what kind of fashion that you've been, I don't know what that is that you've been wearing lately, but honestly, you look like you need some fashion advice, bro. This is so ugly, it's becoming Adam Sandler, where it's like, it's starting to look good again. I don't know if you're just into high fashion, that's why it's so bad.
To get used to a new culture.
Look at that shirt, it's a button-up shirt. It looks like an undergarment button-up shirt. I love it.
A new culture is kind of scary. It's gonna be like being reborn as a little...
Oh my god, I love that. It's like a gray shirt. He looks like a dad and a kid at the same time. Wow. Sorry. Brandan actually, by the way, I don't know if you saw what he packed. Video games and chocolates. The classic boy.
As a little toddler and you're trying to make your way up in a new world is...
Moving country is like you reborn a toddler moving up in the world. That sounds like a bad movie plot. Okay, anyway.
Really nervous.
Are you?
Yeah.
Did it just hit you?
Hey, Mom.
So Brandan goes to the airport and he doesn't know if his mom is going to meet him, but his mom comes to see him off and she's very sad and doesn't know how to say goodbye. She doesn't want him to go. He loves his mom, but like understands this is a decision that he's had to make out of him having to grow up alone and without her. And I see it in his eyes. I can respect that he's making his own decision.
I want you to go.
I love you too, Mom.
He's really gone.
Sold my soul.
And now Brandan's on his first flight ever, by the way, to the Philippines. It's 3 flights that he's taking. He's going across a long way to see this girl. And things are looking good. I mean, imagine moving, I don't know, 20 plus hours across the world, dropping everything you know, selling that RV that could make you millions of dollars in illegal money just to go see this girl. She must be very happy, right? Wrong. Wrong.
I'm feeling very nervous and excited.
Oh, Brandan. Whoa. Stop crossing your eyes. You might cross your brain soon. Jeez, that was pretty crazy there. Okay, so then some texts happen. I'll just read them. I love you, Babby. I got Whiffy finally. Let me see who's next you. Let me see who's next you. They have me sitting next to a girl, Mary. Nothing I can do about it. Now, Brandan could have lied and said, I'm sitting next to the plane. And Mary would have been like, okay, that sounds good. But Brandan chose to be truthful. He's not a liar. And because he's not a liar, Mary was like, I respect that. I'm lying again. She's not at all that. Great.
As I'm finally in the air, there's a girl next to me. And you're
just wow.
Picking your seat. It's not like
you always want to be with girls. Well, you just, every time you go and you sit in a plane, you're always with girls, even though this is your first flight ever and it's to see me and to live with me for the rest of my life.
You can see what gender a person is sitting next to you.
And if you could, Brandan, that would be a very, very scary feature that you have on a plane, because I can foresee old men saying, what gender is sitting next to me? Oh, that's fantastic. I can see that happening, so I'm glad that that's not a thing. Do you know? I'm just gonna write this down. Mary gets angry at Brandan for sitting next to girl on plane. I could never read that again. She got mad at him for sitting next to someone when he can't decide. I'm not talking to them, though.
And I know that no one can seduce me and make me change.
Of course you will talk. Of course.
Seduce me and make me change my mind about Mary.
Okay, I think it's time we bring this up. I'm gonna bring this up many times. He just said the words, I won't let anyone seduce me. Trust me, buddy, nobody's gonna be seducing you anytime soon. I'm not saying that you're not like the most beautiful man on earth, but you know, like it's not like everyone, you're not so sexual. You're not the sexiest man, like people just like leave their boyfriends for you type man. Okay, you can sit in a plane without someone bothering you, which is great.
I was sitting next to a girl and Mary was overthinking, so I got switched to an empty seat.
Bro! Could you imagine that girl who's sitting next to you on a plane just minding her business, eating a snack, and he's like, can I move? My girlfriend doesn't want me sitting. She's just... I just like to sit alone, please. I just wouldn't want to sit next to... She's seducing me with her snack eating skills. Wow, he literally moved for this girl on a plane. That's so toxic. I've never seen this in my life before. Just got my seat changed. Now no one is sitting next to me. 2 more flights to go after this. And then she wrote you, but I didn't see they blurred the word flip. Well, it's actually the F word. F you.
So I'm boarding on the plane now to Manila. I hope it goes well.
Imagine being on a flight 20 plus, like a long ass flight, and all you're doing is fighting with your like, F you, I hate you. Oh my God, you wouldn't even want to go there. Next plane too, there's a girl too, like always. Yes, Mary, women actually fly on planes. If you didn't know that, it's this really cool thing called equality. Not just men can fly on planes.
So used to overthinking and fighting over the phone that it's just become normal for us. I can only tolerate it up to a certain point.
You make me hurt, you make me crazy. So fuck you and your girls there. Do you think maybe Brandan should sit on the cockpit's lap? Oh, sorry, I meant the pilot's lap. I was just thinking what he would really want to sit on. You know, Brandan, he should fly the plane, to be honest. Brandan needs a pilot license so he can stay right at the front where nobody else can touch him. I didn't D anything. Exactly, which is actually very well put. I didn't put my D on anything.
Don't know like what to say, what to do.
You're a cheater and God. I was maybe like, you know, the autocorrect, you're a cheater and a liar when she wanted to say you're a cheetah and a lion because she's calling him so brave and fast for getting to her on time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to live a life with you. Lovely thing to hear when you're en route to live a life with someone. There it is. That's how that plane ride went. It's a fun trip for all. Oh my God. Brandan, I don't know how you do it, my lad. I do not know.
Supposed to arrive tomorrow, but we got a huge fight because he's sitting next to a girl on the plane.
I like her perspective, like nothing's ever wrong. We get into a huge fight because he's sitting next to a girl, and then everyone's supposed to be like, yes, I understand that. She does have like zero actual, she makes no sense in her own head that like that wouldn't be an issue. I mean, oh man, imagine if he was sitting next to his family on the plane, like he got tickets with his family. She's like, you knew you were sitting next to your mom and sister. That would have been a problem.
He said he won't be sitting with girls or anyone.
Oh, I don't even know I'm joking about it if she actually just says stuff like this. He said he won't be sitting next to girls or anyone. He said he'll never touch another girl in his life. He said he'll never think about a girl or dream about a girl. He said he doesn't even know what the word girl is. Except for me, specifically for me, actually. Then he knows.
But girls sitting next to him, so I have the reason to get mad.
Actually, that's a good point that she makes. I gotta be honest, guys. She literally said, he's not sitting next to a girl's sitting next to him. Which she, like, even by her own admission is like, he didn't choose to do that. So how could you really blame him? But this dude, he's on his way to see her. I think he's got one more flight left. And he doesn't look happy. This man he's looking like he's had a rough flight, and it's not because of the flight.
I was able to switch seats this time, but if there's no other available seats,
then he's gonna have to sit in the bottom with all like the luggage. I don't know if he weighs 7 kgs or over, but that's where they have to put him for Mary to be happy.
You're just gonna have to deal with it.
Well, don't talk to girl if you have...
I'm not talking to girls.
That's how it ends. That's how this whole conversation is just like, it's because he talked to a girl, which he didn't even do. Poor man. I feel like that whole flying experience, that's his first flying experience. The stewardess would have came and would have said like, would you like something to drink? And I'm so sure he wanted to yeet himself out of the plane in fear of Mary. He's just like, hell no, can you get me the man stewardess? Please don't ever look at me again.
Well, I'm not there to see you.
I don't talk to girls because I have no reason to.
It's very hard for me.
Girls don't talk to him because they also don't have no reason to. This is a win-win. Wow.
Because my ex cheated on me 10 times and I forgive him like 10 times.
Well, that makes you stupid. This is a red flag there. I'm not even gonna play games anymore. I mean, I don't know. Once, you know what they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I don't know what happens the other 8 times. I don't think they made 8 more. Forgave ex 10 times. By the way, can we talk about this ex who we don't know about? She didn't touch him because she said she hasn't been touched before. So the ex and her haven't even like, there was like a force field between the two. So that happened. And she didn't love him because you remember, this is her first love. So she didn't love him, but she forgave him 10 times for cheating. But they also didn't touch. What the hell relationship is it?
If you love me, make sure you won't talk to girls on a flight. Tomorrow, I'll see you soon. Behave.
Someone needs to be her manager and put on a shirt like her face and like on her forehead, behave. Because I'd buy one of those. That's hilarious. This man is flying over to see her, leaving his family behind, and she's like, don't talk to girls. I know, just don't talk to girls. Just stop. You're talking to me right now, so you're talking to a girl. Liar, cheater, bitch.
I'll see you soon.
Pelanggan mo dua, di ka mo manginaway.
So now we meet Mary's grandparents who have been taking care of her. They're lovely people. They have certain traditions I feel like most Eastern cultures have that are very dated in terms of how they have other people perceiving them, and it matters way more than it should how other people seem to look at them. But besides that, you know, and deep down they seem like pretty decent people. They also raised Mary. Basically, in order to stay with them, Brandan needs to ask permission to do things like hold her hand, kiss her, and they also make it very clear, no funny business before marriage. No making love, as they say. Something I never thought I'd want to hear any grandparents say to me.
I can finally hug him for real this time.
So Mary starts feeling very happy to see Brandan. She starts getting that like, aha, emotional buzz like Mario and Luigi. And her brother's sitting there like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to film this, aren't I?
You going to hug?
Yeah.
But Grandpa said hugging is not allowed.
She hasn't been touched before, but she's ready to hug Brandan. She really, like, I don't know what the opposite, this is like, you know, very weird phrases for when people like a certain type of person. But like, I don't know what it is when girls like white men. I think it's called brandaning. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on. She's brandaning.
My lolo told my brother that he's bring shame to the family. Oh my god.
Okay, so Mary's brother had a kid, and I think he did it before he got married, and then that brought shame to their family. They got 100 shame points. So like, basically Mary's the only thing, Virgin Mary is the only thing there, like, you cannot mess this up because you're the only thing that'll bring like 100 aura to a family. And then as soon as she sees Brandan, she breaks it. So she's not allowed to hug Brandan. Everyone's like, yep, not hugging him at all. As soon as she sees him, she's like, I don't give a shit. So they broke one law, one ancestral law. The ancestors are looking above from heaven, you know, doing doing this, whatever you call it, raging.
I want to go up there. You're so handsome.
This is like the movie Titanic if the Jack wanted to jump off the ship and Rose was like guilt tripping him into not doing it sooner. Kind of like a just failed romance. But anyway, it's supposed to be a very cute scene. It's kind of hard to ignore the fact that the brother is there filming it. I don't know if I'd ever ask my family member to film me making out with like my girlfriend. I just don't really know if I'd be like, hey cousin, did you get that close up? Did you get the French kissing though? All right.
You're so handsome.
Oh, there it is. She broke law number 2 of the ancestral code. If thou shalt not kiss a random man that you just met after 2 years. Grandpa's not gonna be too happy about this one, is he?
Even though my grandfather and my brother told me not allowed to kiss him, I don't care about it because I want to and I need to.
That's really good that Mary is like putting her like foot down. She's like, I don't care. But the problem is that Mary suddenly cares when it's appropriate. So when she goes back home, she now starts lying to her grandpa. And now you see a pattern that Mary exhibits where she lies to people who she quote unquote cares about to make her life easier. When you run away from responsibility, you have 2 options. One, to face it. The other, to run away and not accept what you did was wrong. And that's what she chooses to do constantly because she doesn't want to face the consequences. And people who do that are just never worth your time. I just don't think that they are. In the moment, she didn't seem to care, but now when she goes back home, she suddenly has to care again. So I feel like both her grandpa and Brandan are getting played by this Mary over here. And the brother who has to film this god-awful mess. Now he's got proof. He's like, Grandpa, I can be back in the family. I can blackmail my sister now.
Hello, brother.
Oh yeah, Brandan daps up his new brother. I'm sorry, Brandan. I'll never get over it.
I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too, man.
They do a extremely long handshake that seems like it should be in The Office. Like they never let go of each other's hand. It seems like he almost loves him more than her for like a split second. But then she shows her brother who's the real lover and starts kissing Brandan in front of her brother. And I don't know, man. It's a bit awkward to like start smooching in front of like your like significant other's siblings. That just doesn't seem right.
I'm especially happy to see your sister.
Our grandma and grandpa are also excited.
Oh, God. I don't know, man. He's like, hey, bro, I'm happy to see you, but not as happy as I am when I'm with your sister, if you know what I mean. And if you don't know what I mean, let me show you. This is kind of like, well, okay, dude.
So excited to see you. Come on, I will do it for you.
You want to do this for me?
I'm just gonna write down a red flag as she lies to her grandpa and Brandan, because the thing is, she actually doesn't tell Brandan that she can't kiss him. So Brandan doesn't know that that's not allowed. Brandon's just like, I'm smooching because I can. He doesn't know he can't. So she just lied to 2 people within a short span. Lies to grandpa plus Brandan. That's kind of crazy that she just like any given time she'll lie to a random person because it's easier for her. Now they're together in the Philippines, and instead of having like him show his phone, they're doing very cringy TikToks together next to a cow.
My hands are sweating so much. My
You
hands.
are so hot.
No, I mean.
It's a weird time to start flirting when the brother's in the front seat. You know, you could keep it in just for a little longer till the brother's not within earshot to be like, oh, you're the hottest thing I've ever seen. I hope your brother's not listening. And he's like looking back at you like, oh.
We've been kissing a lot.
Bro, what's up? In the US, it's okay to kiss now?
Bro. Is it okay to kiss people? Because you're not. It's not okay. I mean, he's doing it in the most nice way possible, but like, I mean, the fact that the brother has to be like, hey, stop. I know they haven't seen each other in 2 years. This is like very extraordinary love story. You couldn't write it down with a book. Shakespeare could never. But like at the same time, keep it in your pants.
It's not okay in the Philippines because our ancestors beliefs.
Yes, our ancestors didn't believe in kissing, that's why I'm not here. We just believe in fucking. Like, he's got a point, he just didn't say it. Brandan didn't even know. He's blindsided. Blindsided Brandan is pretty much what he is 90% of the time. But right now, this motherfucker's in heaven. Look at him. He's getting his hair stroked. He's gonna get something else stroked later, hopefully.
It's not okay for now. You need first to ask permission to give you blessing to do that.
I think he's been blessing your sister's mouth, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that's really... Are you sure about that, bro?
Okay, you understand?
Gotcha.
Okay.
So, is it okay if I kiss your sister?
Not blessing from him, you idiot. Okay, maybe he didn't explain correctly. That's what you thought he asked? He was like, it's not okay to kiss unless you ask me first, and I get to watch. What do you think is going on here, bro?
For our grandparents, you will ask permission first.
I had no idea this is a rule. just really absurd to me.
It might be absurd to you, but the problem is that the tradition is the tradition, whatever. The thing is that Brandan didn't know because Mary didn't tell him. If Mary told him beforehand, then he would have known. But she chooses not to tell him and just do it. And then while she's doing it, the brother has to be like, that's not okay. So as usual, she's not actually helping this man in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like that's really shitty.
Like, I think that I deserve to be able to kiss her. Mary taught me how to.
But anyway, they get home, they meet the grandparents, they say hello, and it is the most awkward situation that you could possibly imagine because Grandpa doesn't speak a lick of English. Brandan has the riz off a fly.
To address your elders on video call. The appropriate way is to grab their hand.
Touch them. I mean, like, not physical, like touch them, like, whatever.
I'll need you guys to translate for me.
Kamusta ka na, tay?
Okay. Okay lang.
Tell her you've been kissing his granddaughter. Tell her, say it was good.
When I get out of the car, my glasses are fogging, so yeah.
Holy shit, Brandan. How'd you manage to land anything? A girl like that, how'd you do it? That Riz game is on point right there. Telling a random man who doesn't speak English that your glasses are fogged up? Why don't you finish that sentence off? My glasses are fogged up because I saw your muscles, Grandpa. Why don't you pick me up like that bale of hay over there? Seriously, dude? Are you serious? Really?
Anong ginhimo niyo sa una niyo pagkitain ni Mary?
We talked with Brother Mar.
Then Granddad asked a question. He said, what did you do when you first saw Mary? I think he was like poking a little bit because he knows like if Brandan said like held her hand, hugged her, anything, he would have been like, yeah, okay. It's on now, bro. He chooses to lie. He doesn't say anything because Mary explains that you can't say none of the stuff. So he keeps it under wraps.
And then we drove here. I'm not going to tell Mary's grandfather that we kissed.
There it is at the end. He's like, he gives them a little like, I ain't gonna tell him what we did. Grandpa can find out when he watched the show, if he even understand.
He's got this resting bee face. Hopefully me and Mary.
For whatever reason, Brandan also says that Grandpa has resting bitch face, which I find hilarious. I mean, this guy's got the face of a man who works really hard as a farmer his whole life face. Also had to raise his kids and then his kids' kids. So, I don't know. But all right, Brandan.
And still be romantic with each other in private.
That night, though, they want to go to bed and they want to get saucy in the sheets. But Brandan doesn't understand that's not happening. And the grandparents explain this is not happening.
Because we're about to spend our first night together, like a wet dream almost.
Oh my God, dude. Why do you explain things like that? A wet dream.
I've lived in a trailer home. I've lived in a shed, like in my grandpa's backyard. I've lived in my car.
Holy crap. Okay, so they show him the house and, you know, most American people would be like, where's the Brita filter or something like, you know, ridiculous, not understanding that development countries have different sort of like housing, of course. But Brandan, he's like, no problem. I lived in an RV, I lived in a shack, I lived in a dungeon, I lived under the dungeon, I lived on the street. I said to a homeless person, you're lucky.
Ay, mamangkot sa kung pwede kami ko na mag-share room.
Pwede. O hindi lang ka manay magulid kay kinanglan niya ikaw ya marespeto.
All right, so Brandan asks, can I sleep in the same room with your granddaughter? They say, hell yeah, but don't make love, which is something grandparents say things like, can I get you some tea? Or they call you darling. But, you know, don't make love. Don't make love. Don't know lovemaking is like, ugh.
So I'm still hoping that we're gonna like have some sort of romantic, steamy intimacy or something.
Yeah, make lust tonight.
These are my boxer briefs that I got in preparation for first night together. I guess it just shows off your package more.
Those are regular boxers, dude. What do you mean? What? Okay, Calvin Klein. All right, dude. He's showing off his package to Mary. Ah, God, that's... You know what? It's been 2 years. They were kissing. He wants to get it in. He wants to make babies right now.
I'm not a virgin, but Mary is, and I totally respect that. As far as like phone sex goes, like almost every day.
I want to have that old school phone sex. That like, you know, tell me what you're wearing, but then you have to type it in like 1-800 I am wearing a G string, like whatever that number is. And then I type back in like Morse code. And I think that's steamy.
I don't want to come off as like, do you...
Maybe we could just know you're tired.
So Brandan asks if we could do anything tonight, and she says, and I quote, maybe we could just know you're tired, which is, I laughed for genuinely 5 minutes when I heard that, because that sentence is so funny. That's two sentences together. I think she was like trying to say, maybe we could just sleep, but then she literally said, maybe we can just figure out that you're tired. Maybe we can spin the globe and know that you're tired right now, bro. Maybe we know you couldn't get it up if you tried.
Okay.
I still haven't tell Brandan that they want me to wait to have sex until we get married.
So Mary hasn't actually told Brandan a very important piece of information that he should probably know before he makes a decision like moving country to live with a person forever, that she wants to get married before she even does anything. But right now they're sleeping head to toe, but like not facing each other. So it's like genuinely the least sensual you can ever sleep with your partner.
Me and Mary are used to being on the phone 24/7. Like, I've pooped in front of her. I've had phone sex with her.
Okay, those two things shouldn't come after one another. Nobody should ever say, I pooped in front of you, I had phone sex with you. You don't say those often. It's like saying, like, you're my brother, you're my lover. Like, those two things, you can't say them back to back and expect everyone to be like, okay.
Water.
The next morning, Brandan wakes up to chickens making love noises or whatever they do. And he finds out that Mary actually didn't even sleep in the same bed because he kept kicking her on the head. And she went to sleep somewhere else.
Yeah, I sleep outside because your feet is bumping my head.
And yeah, so it's not really looking too good in person the first night. They initially had some chemistry, but then there's some bumps. But now Mary understands she felt a bit bad that she's making Brandan do this stuff, so she starts feeding him. And it's very cute until she explains that she's trying to make him a little fat because she wants to hug him.
I want him to get chubby because when he's chubby, he's huggable like teddy bears.
Okay, so I don't know if this theory is actually true. I feel like I need someone in the comments to verify or tell me that I'm wrong. Please, this is a serious thing. Do you think some girls who are maybe have a little, like maybe afraid, will like to make their man a little more chubby or fat or just something where he's less like desirable, quote unquote, to the general public because they know that if they do that, then he can't leave them? Because I know I can't really verify that because it's just one small thing, but this dude does gain a little weight. And I feel like, although it's very cute, it also can be almost seen as like, you know, I'm trying to keep you within my reach and then you can't really leave me because you're like out of shape now and, you know, other people won't be looking at you as much. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like there's ulterior motive with everything she does.
Eat more. He needs to be man enough to do farming.
Yes, right. That day he starts farming because Mary's like, look, if you're gonna live with us, you're gonna farm with us. And she says the most gangster quote, he needs to be man enough to do farming, which I've just never woken up and had someone be like, are you man enough? Then pick this corn. Like, oh, okay. Wow, okay.
Mary wants me to spend some time on a farm, learn her way of life.
Oh, he's a drip king now. All it took was him getting to Philippines. Now he looks like Kanye West's stunt double. I like it.
We have to be able to work on the farm.
It's the man's job to prepare the mud. I just feed the pigs.
So this caribou on the farm is like this crazy animal found, and he rides it to like help make the mud for the rice to grow in it and stuff like that. So this is a good job. He did a good job, and Mary's watching her man. He goes from like an American to more accustomed to the Filipino lifestyle, which is really cool actually to see that Brandan's willing to do this.
Up.
As soon as I met her, we kissed.
Okay, 5 minutes later, he decides that now that he's becoming a man, he might as well own up to his responsibility. And I think that that's kind of cool because I think when I really think about this whole scene, the fact that Mary didn't tell her own grandfather and the fact that Brandan's known him for one day but felt that he needs his relationship to be built off of honesty shows that he's much more of a stand-up dude and actually, even though there'll be some consequences for his actions, is willing to accept them rather than lying to someone. So I give him props for that, but he says, yeah, I kissed your granddaughter.
Prote, nainit ko. Siyempre, wala pa sila. Mapasugot na lang ko nga.
But then the grandpa actually allows it, which I thought was so, like, I was like, man, I was expecting grandpa to body slam Brandan. I was hoping for WWE match or something, but I guess grandpa has very decent temperament, actually, so.
Pro, masawahay na lang.
Never mind. What? What the hell? What?
Plano nyo ang pagkasal kung saan mapa-schedule kita.
You know, I only just kissed her. Like, I have to marry her right away.
What the God damn. It's a consequential kiss, isn't it? Oh, shit. I think at New Year, sometimes you kiss someone into the New Year, even under the mistletoe. Oh my God, there's so many marriages I haven't had yet. Damn. Well, one kiss later, and now they're going to get married.
Today, I'm gonna take Brandan to meet my friends, Pong, Jello, and Pudding.
Are they cool with me?
But anyway, he's repaired the relationship with Grandpa, and that's kind of nice. So Brandan's actually doing pretty well. The next people they meet in Mary's life that are significant are her friends, whose names are Paul, Jello, and Pudding, which sounds like an animated trio. But anyway, before they come through, Brandan explains, he asks, like, is anyone not cool with me? And apparently Paul isn't cool with him. But they actually have a talk and say, like, you know, you can have friends, but Brandan can't. I'll never get his name right.
Does Pong know how I couldn't even make friends who were guys because you would overthink about their girlfriends?
Well, hold on. Let me write that down. I did not know that little nugget of information. Can't make guy friends. We'll explore that one very soon. I think he touches on it a little more. But essentially what is happening there is that he's not allowed to make guy friends because some of guy friends have girlfriends. And those girlfriends might see a man like Brandan and say, what a man, what a mighty good man. Let me leave my man for Brandan. Mary thinks that Brandan is Marlon Brando or something. I just don't know.
Honestly, there was a few times when I felt jealous of you guys.
You should stop a kind of attitude like that because, as in, we are just friends.
The gay man is right, Brandan. They are just friends.
Like, when she went to the beach with you guys, it's like no service. Yeah. So I can't be on the phone.
Do you know that Mary...
So then Brandan unwittingly says, like, sometimes you guys, she doesn't have service when they were hanging out and, like, it made him feel jealous. And this is why these boys are my homies. They were like, yeah, all right, let's hold Mary accountable. And they ask, like, do you know why she didn't have service? It's because she unplugged her Wi-Fi. Did you know that? And they just threw their friend under the bus for the betterment of the relationship. And I just gotta say, these boys are stand-up boys.
Unplug her Wi-Fi to go hang out many other time with us.
You know, since I got here, there wasn't a single power outage.
So all that information in a quick span of time, Brandan is like absolutely blindsided yet again. Mary laughs in guilt, by the way. It's not even like a serious thing for her. She's like, yeah, I did it. And it's just like absolutely like she has no respect for even responsibility of any kind, shape, or form. This poor man, she can't even tell him the truth. She still hasn't told him the truth. It took her friends doing that. It took Brandan telling her grandpa for her grandpa to know. She disrespects everyone by not actually owning up to anything she does. And Brandan, of course, is like, what the hell? There's been no power outages. Come to think of it, this doesn't make any sense.
She wouldn't let me hang out with guys even because guys have sisters, guys have girlfriends, guys have moms.
Guys have mom. Who does she think you are? Holy shit. Do you think that she looks at you and sees Ryan Reynolds made a baby with Hugh Jackman? Is that Hugh Reynolds? Huh? Ryan Jackman? Ryan Jack off, more like. Oh my God, dude. She thinks you're the sexiest man on the planet, which is really nice if you think about it, but she's like doing it in the wrong way.
I'm sorry.
Abby.
Oh, she's crying. I did not expect. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna cry. There it is. With her friends, doesn't care. Remember, she's the one who did this, and she's crying. And now Brandan's wiping the tears off her face. So she did something wrong. She didn't even explain it. She didn't feel guilty. She didn't even bring it up. Her friends brought it up, and she was outed. She's in a position where she's feeling backed up, and she starts crying. Now it's all forgiven.
As a friend of me, we are supporting you.
We can all hang out.
Then you just promise Brandan, then stop jealousing.
Yeah. Stop jealousing, Brandon, okay? This is all your fault, man. You need to be a better man and stop jealousing.
Today, I'm gonna take Brandan to the church, and I would love Brandan to be a Catholic like me.
He's gonna be a Catholic very soon. He's gonna start drinking catahol if he keeps this up, honestly. But yeah, Brandon needs to stop jealousing. Once he stops jealousing, then maybe he can have a better relationship with Mary.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's Jesus Christ.
Okay, thanks, Mary. That's Michael Jordan, but here we are. Okay. Alright then. This is the scene, the penultimate scene that made me like want to do this whole deep dive. They go to church, and for whatever reason, Mary is in rare form, she first explains who Jesus Christ is to him, that's helpful. Secondly, she just keeps telling him to behave and not to look at girls. Now, I don't know if he is looking at girls. I don't know what girls there are to look at church. I don't know what she thinks is happening at church. But she just keeps saying it to the point that it's just wild at how he can't do anything.
It's already a lot of pressure. She doesn't want me looking at other girls.
Don't look at girls, okay?
Those were like old ladies and like some other people. Are you kidding me? Don't look at girls in a church? Don't look at this list. I don't even think we're halfway. What the heck? Don't look at girls in a church. Don't look at girls, just look at me or the priest.
If I even turn my head, she doesn't like it. That's up. To be physically controlled, like where I can look, I don't think anyone should have to live like that.
And yet you continue to live with this woman for reasons beyond belief, bro. I mean, I'm going to support you throughout this series because I think Brandon's a good guy, but at the same time, you make these odd decisions to stay with a woman that you know seems to have almost unreal tendencies of jealousy, maybe narcissism. She's a hypocrite. I just can't even imagine how anyone could not see these red flags.
Don't look at girls. Behave.
Don't look at girls. Stop looking at them. You're looking. Jesus has long enough hair. Don't look at him.
How's the mask?
I just want to be clear about something. I can't
So she takes him out of the mask. She's asked how it was. He's like, it's really good besides the controlling dictative behavior you're displaying. And then he said, he's like, you can't tell me not to look. Like, you can't tell me not to look at people.
Go out in public or look at someone without you accusing me of being a cheater.
I'm just telling you not to look because it's church.
Yeah, it's church. Don't look. Close your eyes, unless you open them. But open them to close them. And sing. And don't look. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Brandon tried to lay down the law, didn't he? Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. That's 4 cries for you, Brandon. All Brandon said was, I'm going to try and look to the left and to the right, and she started crying.
My parents leave me. Every time I meet people, I'm afraid that if I love them, they will just leave me behind.
So Mary then starts to use the excuse again, and at this point, like I said, it is very sad, but when you start using that as an excuse to excuse your careless behavior, at this point you're avoiding the issue at hand, and I just think that at some point it seems more like an excuse than it does a genuine, like, she was like, don't look at girls because I don't want you to leave me. That's crazy.
Even if we had kids, would you finally let go of your fear of abandonment?
Maybe.
It's kind of hard to hold on to, maybe.
At this point, Brandan is actually standing up for himself. This is the most I've seen him be like, I know you're not feeling happy, but I need some reassurance as well. And he's doing it in a very calm manner, which is okay. Like, I mean, you sometimes still need to search for your own reassurance. Mind you, he's there and living with her, pretty much paid for her house, is going to church, doing everything that she wants, and just is asking for that little bit of reassurance.
Do what you want me to do.
She hit him with one of those.
Even in person, I feel like I'm still not good enough.
What do you want me to do? Please, please, please.
She now starts making sounds that you would only hear in video games or in audio packs. Took the liberty of auto-tuning her because I thought it was funny. I do not find this, like, I'm not like, oh, this is hilarious, but at the same time, it's like, not every time she's been crying, it's when someone has held her accountable. That's gotta mean something. She's not just crying because she feels sorry or guilty at someone. It's just a constant, like, you know, I'm backed up into a corner, I'm just gonna do this now. And I don't think it's good at all.
stop.
Because here, Brandan is now putting his hand around her, consoling her. And the fact is that he had the issue, but now he finds himself needing to say sorry again and again and again. She starts having a panic attack because she goes into panic mode, and it leads Brandan to think about his own situation, and then he starts crying, and they both make hilariously cry faces. Some people cry and they look good crying. These two, ha 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 ha.
When Mary told me before that I can't look at girls at church, brings me back to the state of mind like I'm not good enough.
And then I feel like this is a very sad moment because this is a very true moment and something that I feel like this man could benefit a lot from therapy with, because he says that like when she doesn't trust him, it makes him feel like he's not good enough, and that clearly is affecting him to the point that he starts crying. He does Tobey Maguire cry face.
And I'm trying. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry is not the right answer.
And then they both apologize. And when she says, I'm sorry, there was like an audio narration of him going, sorry is not the right answer. So I don't know what he expected, but Mary is just not the type of person to actually give a shit. This is kind of where we are. But it's the next day.
I will try my best to trust him. I am so happy that me and Brandan were able to make up.
Nice. So they finally made up after a beautiful set of tears from the both of them. It's tough when you go to church and you look at women and then you have insecurities about your life. Anyway, they're back. They made up. Life is good for Brandan and Mary.
Our old house got ruined by typhoon Odette. My grandparents are staying at the new house.
We need to find a way to make money.
So there's an impending problem now. Typhoon Odette has ruined the house for Mary's grandparents. So Brandan, using his $60,000 US, built a new house for them, and the grandparents live with them. But the problem is, he used all of his money in America to basically build that house. Now he lives in the Philippines and he can't work there legally, which means he's not making money. And they don't really have that much money because I don't think Mary works. So I don't really know if they're making money, and they need to start making that money.
Every single time I got paid, I would send her most of my paycheck. We have 17,000-ish Filipino pesos.
So he's got $306 left. You know, that's not a lot of money at all. But if you ever see this other couple, which I will do a video on, Lauren and Faith, Lauren would probably kill to have that much money, and I think he would actually kill for that. So they got a little bit of money, but I don't know if it's gonna last them.
I don't think we're gonna have enough to pay for the bills next month. What do you think we're gonna be able to do?
I can make necklaces and we can sell it.
So Mary's idea is to make necklaces and sell them. Bitch, are you for real? Are you serious right now? You might as well go back to twerking. I think that was a better idea than I'll make necklaces and sell them. Oh, God. All right. Well, good luck, Brandan. I don't know what to say about that. She looked and she was like, $306 in debt? Why don't I make some necklaces? Do you really think everyone's gonna need to buy a necklace? And if they do, just by the way, you get your whole village to buy a necklace. You're gonna get them to buy it again next month? Are you serious? Oh my God.
Is there any chance that we could go to your grandpa for like a loan or something?
So then Brandan is like, yeah, that's the stupidest idea I ever heard. Can you actually ask your granddad for a loan? But that's also stupid because the granddad rides a bull. I don't think this man has the most money in the world. I feel like Brandan maybe thinks this is America where every grandparent has 100K stashed up their asshole. This is not, third world countries is not really like that. You're actually usually the person who gives money to your family.
No, he can't do that.
Why can't he?
Mary does not seem happy about this and immediately says no to the idea. Not because he doesn't have the money particularly, he doesn't, but because she's his grandfather and he worked really hard. And then she starts getting emotional, and I think we're going for a fifth cry, guys.
Because he doesn't have a lot of money. I just don't want to ask help. He already sacrificed a lot.
There we go. There it is. Far Cry 5, everyone. That didn't take too long, did it? Every single time they're backed up into a corner. That's not really a great solution, I gotta say, for an actual problem. Imagine not actually knowing where your money's gonna come from to survive, and then she's like, I don't want to do it. Honestly, I'd sell the bull. I'm not saying he's not a team player, but I think that bull would be worth a lot of money. I would buy the bull. I don't know where I'd put it, but he's so cute though. I know it's a Kariba, I just saying.
I don't want Don't make him stressed. He's old.
I never
He deserves to be happy. He sent me to college.
Holy shit. Okay, pretty sure Brandon just asked, can I get a loan? And now she's like telling Brandon everything about like what the grandfather has done. I don't think he asked. He sent me to college and he's old and he's got his own problems. It's like, damn, just say no.
I don't want him to be stressed.
I definitely wasn't expecting Mary to react this way. I don't know what he makes on the farm.
He makes 2 rice cakes a day, Brandon. Are you kidding me? What he makes on the farm? He probably makes lunch and then dinner for the week. Do you think this man is balling in the streets? Come on. You needed to pay for the house so that they could live in it. Come on. He's living with you guys.
But I know he didn't spend it on the house. He didn't pay for your college. You had a scholarship.
He's the one who gave us
Without
food.
any interruption, please.
Brandon then is like trying to explain to her without any interruption, he says, and then she interrupts him one word at a time, which I find extremely funny. I've never heard someone be like, and then he did it. Like in between the words Brandon was saying, she just can't stop herself.
The one who gives us food.
Yes,
Don't
I
make
get
him
that, but I'm talking
like
about
that.
money.
You
I'm talking
didn't
about
know
money.
anything about.
You don't know anything about that. Oh, God, that was tough. Oh, man. Glad I got my point across.
The sacrifice of my grandfather. In America, you don't struggle like this.
In America, everyone struggles too. I wasn't always...
That is unintentionally the new quote of America from this day on. In America, everyone struggles too. That is such a hard, deep quote right now. Oh, man. Brandon, I don't know if you understand how dank that was. That is perfect. Well said.
Not all people will get support. Also, toilet to poop. They poop everywhere. Poop in the river.
What? Why? Okay. All right. So Mary is like, look, not everyone has a roof to poop on. Underneath. And then she expands on that by saying like some people have to poop in the river. So do hippies, Mary. So do hippies. It was an interestingly very specific thing that she was thinking about there, but I guess she's just trying to say that people are poor here. It's not like you can just ask people for loans, which I understand what she's saying, but they still don't have a better idea than to sell necklaces. I really want to see what happens, how they're going to make money.
So he didn't experience the real struggle here in the Philippines.
Yeah, but he's about to experience the real struggle in the Philippines because he can't work there legally because he's not married to her yet. So unless they get married very soon and then he's able to find legal work, it's going to be pretty tough. And I don't know what Mary does to make money, or if she does, which is not great.
I don't want you to ask my grandpa for help.
You know I love you, right?
Yeah, I know.
So there's like a weird time skip here. It's sort of like One Piece, and it's just like... Next time we see Brandon, he looks like he's a soldier who came back from war. He's a bit heavier, a bit chunkier. He's got a little beard. He's been living in the Philippines for 3 months at this point, and it turns out the granddad had to work somewhere else with his bull. And in the time that the grandpa has left, these two smashed with no protection, and now they're having a baby. Baby's not a red flag, but the reason is. I'll explain in a second. Whew, my boy's sitting on those fake Gucci pillows, huh?
Baby, I've been living here in the Philippines with Mary for 3.5 months now. For the past couple months.
He looks like Harry Potter if he got colonized.
It's both positive. I take my first pregnancy test and I'm pregnant.
All right, my dudes. 23-year-old, 2 of them have no financial strategy whatsoever, no actual plans for the future. People who should be parents because they have so many issues of their own, and Mary, in particular, has a lot of red flags, let's say. And they're having a baby. I mean, look, I'm here to... I don't think that I should be saying like, oh, you can't. But certain people shouldn't have some, okay? And I don't know if it's the right time, but anyway, I guess they're expecting.
How are you feeling?
Can't believe you're pregnant.
Are you happy or...
I am happy.
Well, it happened, so the baby is here now.
Yep, that's how babies work. The baby is here now. She's got pregnant that day, she'll have the baby later that day, and they'll have dinner together all as a family when the baby turns 6 that day.
I know that I want to wait until marriage before having sex.
Oh, well that's a bit... Well, you didn't. I thought so... Catholic, how does she say? However she says it. I thought her values was, remember the granddad said no making love under this roof in particular. But yeah, I thought they were gonna wait to have sex, but apparently the baby comes first. Well, I mean, Brandan comes first, then the baby, but like, you know.
But I changed my mind. We're humans.
Okay. Religion, guys. I know we're supposed to wait, but I don't want to. Alright. Love that. Let's see how she's gonna deal with the consequences of her actions.
I'm having a baby fever, so that's why I'm being crazy and...
Maybe it's because you're having the baby that you're having baby fever. Oops, my bad. This is kind of the opposite. Usually people have baby fever and then have the baby. She's having the baby and then is like, ooh, I want to have a baby. You're already having it. Okay. Red flag is she went against her granddad. Oh, well, against her whole ancestors, whatever. Against religion, ancestors, culture. And then she also, I'm not putting this past her, may have had the baby just to baby trap this mother flipper so that he can't leave. I really am not putting this past her at all.
I really want a baby.
Right. I thought trying to make a baby will help us become better couple.
This is the same energy as we're fighting a lot. Maybe we should get married. Boy, are you stupid? I thought having a baby will make us a better couple. Please tell me the rationale behind that and how you can do the mental work to also support another life that you've put in when you can barely even be next to each other for a prolonged period of time without either one of you trying to fight or leave. Are you serious? I don't know. I think that if you have the baby, Mary might still be crying more than it, okay?
I'm like, oh, this is really happening. Like, what? Things just got a lot more complicated.
No. Nobody says I'm having a baby. What? That's what you say when you win something that's very, very small. Like at a Happy Meal, you win another cheeseburger. You're like, what? When you have a baby, you're not like, what? You're more like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. That's kind of how you're feeling right now. But it doesn't even look like this man's happy. Have you ever seen people be like, we're trying, and then the wife comes in and she's like, we're expecting, and the guy's like, high five me, honey? Or I don't know. I assume that if it happens for me, I'll like take my wife and like hug her and then hope that I didn't squeeze the baby. I don't know how babies work. But like, it wouldn't be like this.
It's been 2 weeks now since we found out that Mary's pregnant. I still have anxiety, like, how am I gonna take care of this kid?
Oh yeah, they didn't fix their money problems, but now they're adding baby into this. It's not a smart idea, is it? I don't know how they're fixing their money problems. Hopefully we'll come back to that later, but it's been 2 weeks and Brandan has anxiety. He's not realizing that you should pull out. Okay.
Since I found out that I was pregnant, I'm always doing all the chores and he will like wake up for like 12 playing games all the time.
So Brandan is now becoming more despondent after realizing that he's going to be facing insurmountable pressure. This does happen, especially when you're facing like mental health issues like depression and stuff. Sometimes something becomes so overwhelming that instead of rising up to it, you feel so defeated, you're not even able to mentally get there. And I understand that. So he's waking up later, he's playing games, he's trying to remove himself from the reality of the situation, which probably is giving him so much anxiety, it's hard to face it. And that's what's happening. But he's not really talking about it. I don't know if he can. And the relationship might be deteriorating a bit.
2 months ago, we opened up a shop. It is a grocery store, and we buy some chips there to stock all the food.
So to stop their money problems from being money problems, Mary actually takes a loan from her friends to build a grocery store where they can sell snacks. Basically, she tuck shop, a 7-Eleven, something like that, whatever you want to call it. She builds her own. The problem is, Mary might be the worst business person I've ever seen, and I'll tell you why. She then goes to a store nearby to buy food and then sell it for slightly higher prices, which isn't bad. It's not really a bad idea. But when you see how much she sells it for, don't know if they can make up the money.
So this costs like 470 pesos. How much do you think we could sell it all for?
Maybe 500.
Do you think we could charge more?
So she bought all this crap for $8 or maybe 870, and she wants to sell it for 500 pesos, which is $9. And I think the total profit that she wants or is assuming she's going to make on this is a whopping 56 cents. Now, if you factor in that every month they apparently have to pay $300, Well, let me not do the math, but let me just add the fact that she took a loan out for that tuck shop. So it's gonna take them well over 30 years to pay that money back if she just keeps at it.
There's a lot of store near us.
The whole reason we kind of built the store was so that it would help us pay for our bills.
Brandan doesn't help at the store much.
I think if Brandan helped at the store and he like shot chips out of his dick, it wouldn't actually make you more of a profit. I think Brandan could literally do illusions and be like, watch the chip disappear and then put it into his mouth. Nothing would actually save you. That's a really random business idea when Mary actually said that the shops around her sell stuff for much cheaper. It's like the worst business decision ever at this point. It's like going next to an Apple store and then selling Apple products you bought from that store at a higher price. Why would you do it? Okay. Business is not going well. They're gonna have a baby. Things are not really going good right now.
How much do you think we make per month?
It's like 1,000 pesos.
How much debt we're in?
It's like 60,000 pesos.
Oh, leave. Just leave. I mean, this is really bad.
I just want you to like wake up early and help me here at the store. Maybe we can get some customers.
That's the problem. You're waking up too late. If you woke up at 3 a.m., you would know that customers like to buy supply in excess $900 worth of whatever the hell you bought. Okay? That's really the time. I'll tell you what, here's an actual idea, okay? I don't know if weed is legal there, but I'm sure even if it's not, go to a place where people do the okay? Set up a stall, get there at 3 a.m. and sell things for like $10. People get the munchies and they will eat anything. I'm telling you that will work, okay? You just need someone who knows strategic business, and it's not Mary.
Since I'm not a citizen of the Philippines, I can't work legally. There is something I wanted to show you that I think we could improve.
So this is one of my favorite parts in the whole series. They're having money troubles, they're expecting a baby, grandpa's still out, and Brandan decides this is the time. This is the real time for this. And he goes behind a shelf full of tampons.
I'm getting cold feet all of a sudden.
And he gets something out that's really special.
You know, I love you. I don't know how else to say this other than if you say yes, this is like your engagement ring.
And he proposes. Yeah, sure, he doesn't get down on one knee, but who does these days? You know what I mean? He's not even, it doesn't even need to be in a proper box. That's a heart-shaped box. It's really cute. The ring looks like it's good. And you get it behind some tampons. You just pull it out of some tampons. It's good. This is one of the top 10 proposals of all time, I think.
I didn't rehearse this at all. Will you marry me?
There you go. I like that. I like when people make excuses after doing the thing. They say something and they're like, I didn't practice this. So if you think it's bad, it's because of that. You can't blame me. I didn't practice.
Mary?
Ooh, that's the look that you want from your potential wife. The look of, did you just take a shit right here? What are you doing? That's the look. Will you marry me? Mary? And then she's like,
this is very awkward. I didn't really put a lot of thought into this.
Clearly, it shows, bro. But that's, again, it's just something that women love to hear. I didn't rehearse this. I didn't put thought into this. Hopefully, you follow it up with this isn't even a ring. That's really cool. I like that. Sounds like a good time to propose.
It's very awkward and my mind's still stressing over the debt and he's not helping me with the chores.
This dude's whole intention for this was, we have one problem. Let me give you a bigger problem. So you forget about that problem. That was his whole thinking behind that, I'm pretty sure. You guys, you have debt, but now you're also married to this debt. How about that?
I bought this ring when I was still in America because it had a unique engraving, I am enough.
Brandan bought this all the way back in America where it was still the good old days. He didn't get it sized because he didn't know her size, so he just put it on her fingers. I mean, you know, it's a rookie move, but anyway, Brandan's a rookie.
When me and Mary fight, we sometimes use the words, I'm not good enough. So I just felt this would be a really perfect ring to propose with.
Having a ring that is because of your fighting, I don't know if that's really a good, like, you know, memory. Like, you remember how we fight all the time? If you take this ring out and you don't throw it at me, then you'll see that it's actually the opposite. But to be honest, if you take the ring out, it's probably because you hate me.
I will marry you. I love you. So I'm always watching a movie and like girls having like a great marriage. And
what the hell is she crying? What? Oh, because the proposal was bad? Yeah, you know what? I actually understand this one. Yeah, this is a horrible proposal. If you're watching American movies and then you see this one, this was the Harry Potter that you imagined, isn't it? You thought he was going to pull out a wand and then make a ring. Abracadabra, Expelliarmus, Marriageamus. You thought so. You thought...
Marriage, and then he will just propose to me like, I'm just saying yes because I need to.
Yeah, and Mary concludes with the fact that she just doesn't want to hurt him, so she just says yes. It's not even that she really is thinking about it. They toxically love each other, which I don't think is good, to be honest with you, but there it is. Anyway, 2 weeks later.
After that, I told my lola that I was pregnant. She was surprised, but she still supports me.
Honestly, Mary's the type of person to tell her grandfather that she got fat, and then just one day be like, it just showed up at our doorstep. And I feel like she really would go the whole time without telling her granddad. She did tell her grandmother, and she's like okay with it, but the granddad hasn't been around, and I don't think he would exactly like the fact that everything he said, she has not done. It's kind of disrespectful. I mean, even I feel like this is... I don't believe in most of that stuff personally, but I believe in respecting your goddamn granddad.
Even though she doesn't think we're ready yet.
Ikubulan na namin ang nag-aaway ko ni Brandan. Kagdason gabusong kapati karon kung...
Yo, that's true. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's true, but that makes sense. Grandma, exactly. She says that, please don't fight while the baby's getting ripe, which I think is a really good thing. Like, you know how some people like sing to the baby and stuff? They say all these things. I truly believe while the baby's in the womb, it's getting all of its, like everything around it. It's getting acclimated to what the world would be like. I mean, gosh, if you come out screaming and yelling the whole time, it can't be amazing for a baby, correct? So there's got to be some validity in the fact that maybe in this time you try and be nice to each other. Make sure, because this is going to be a human. This is a baby. You want to make sure the baby's going to be okay. That's all.
Our fighting only got worse. This morning, we got a huge fight when he's watching TV with that volume up to 100.
Wow, okay, so it turns out proposing doesn't actually help the situation if you guys were fighting for the most part anyway. Turns out that, like, marriage is not a fix for a problematic relationship. Who would have thought, right?
Please, lower it! Turning it up.
TV, can you talk to me?
After that, he just walked away and won't come back.
So, yeah, actually, they had a huge fight. I'm not really sure what the fight was about, but it turns out Brandan actually left the house. So, things are really not getting good between these two.
What's going on, man? Just had a really bad fight. Things got heated. I just felt like I really had to just get out of the house and escape that environment.
Shit, Brandan's looking like he's about to drop the most fire album beat of all time. He looks like he's a producer, bro. Murder beats on the track. Oh, okay. I didn't know he had drip like that. That's the reverse bucket hat. Okay. All right, Brandan. Drip King.
But instead of being happy, me and Mary...
He looks like he's about to make an album called You Hurt Me and then put a picture of Mary crying there. Or maybe him crying, who knows. And then drop the hardest mixtape of whenever the hell this came out. That's dope. But apparently he's just there because he needs to cool down. I don't actually, personally, I hate when people leave a situation. I actually know that's how a lot of people need time to think and de-stress, because if they don't, they'll say things they don't mean. So I completely get it. I'm not like that. Personally, I'm the opposite. I like talking things out immediately. But I understand it. And it looks like Brandon's just staying there so he doesn't say more stuff.
I know Mary hates it when I come out here. I'm the only foreigner here and everyone sees it. They're like, oh, where's Mary? Why is he walking alone?
Yeah, so that's a big actual thing that I didn't even think about. The fact that like everyone, because it's a small village, people would probably know everything about each other's personal lives. You know, gossiping is a thing in small towns and stuff. And then it's very easy because he does not look like the others in the village, of course. And so they're probably asking questions when they see him around in the bucket hat, just sleeping on the bench.
I don't do it to punish Mary. I do it to get away.
Kay pag may maaking lakat-lakat, kay basi kung may bata dapat magtaro.
The grandma says Brandan needs to be good and change and not leave. And I agree with the fact that he shouldn't leave. Like I said, I think you can take time out, but you're like in this marriage sort of thing. You should probably stay there. But at the same time, I don't know if grandma knows about Mary's list, because it gets longer each time. Anyway, we catch up with Brandan and Mary. They're looking very angry. I remember back in the day they were doing TikTok dances, but now they're just two angry people.
Hey.
Hey.
Nagba.
Holy shit, Granddad's the real drip king. What is that? That's such a... I never seen a shirt like that. Look at that hat. Bro, they gotta get him on Fashion Week.
Paano naman okay, busong ka, may patay yung gina mo? Okay na, daw gira ang busong. Tapos ang yan ang gawin, tapos ginawa niya dahil na.
So they finally tell the granddad that she's pregnant, which I don't know what he even thinks about that, but he's more so concerned about the fact that Brandan keeps fighting and then leaving, and he's not happy at all because it gives them a really bad name and they're judged. And while I don't care at all about families feeling judgment or feeling like this is how other people see us, we need to be like this, I hate that. I still think that Brandan leaving is just not good for the family.
Lolo said that all the people here talk about us, like, because of me being pregnant.
Oh, there's another one. Number 7. Keep getting better. Okay. Can't go a day without that, huh?
Then be better.
Okay, well, it's not gonna happen in 1 minute.
You're doing it continuously. Even though you know that I'm pregnant, you're still shouting.
I don't know if Brandan's shouting or not doing things or whatever, but like this feels like it should be a partnership in which they need to slowly become like each other's better halves. Right now, they're just becoming each other's bitter halves, which is not really good. But the fact that Mary doesn't really recognize the stuff that Brandan's done, I'm not saying that you need to hold it over someone's head forever, but he did put a literal roof over her head, and I feel like, you know, he can't really work at this time, so it's not too much he can do other than like do the chores around the house, which I feel like if he did, maybe she could work. I don't really know what their dynamic is. It just feels like Mary never really seems to say I need to work on things. She's usually just like, Brandan, stop making me pregnant, bro.
So would it be better if I just go back to America then?
If you want that, then go. Then go back.
What do you want me to do at this point, Mary?
Oh, okay, so this didn't end in the way that I thought it was gonna end. Brandan and Mary are then fighting, and then, you know, every now and again you get a little bit angry, you say something you don't mean. It happens. Brandan says, do you want me to go back to America? He didn't mean that. She didn't mean that she wants him to go. People say some shit. We all know that. It happens. It's time to excuse ourselves. People get heated, they say some shit they don't mean.
I realize how bad I've become. Saying sorry now, and I'm making a commitment, an oath to change.
Oh my God, he made an oath to change? A commitment and an oath? Oh, Jesus. He's like 2 fights away from making a blood pact. Oh my God. In 3 more fights, he's gonna make a sacrifice. Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, jeez. That's Brandan, stop using those words, bruh.
Pakasal kami antes magwa ang bata.
Ayaw tani eh.
It means a lot to me because he's showing respect to my lolo.
Yeah, well, Brandan eventually calms down and says, I will do better, not leave and try and actually help around the house more. And Brandan, again, is challenged with the task of doing a little better than he has already done. Each day for Brandan, it's like this. I don't know when he's going to ever stop, but he seems to love Mary.
I love you.
I love you too.
Abby,
Yeah?
what do you think of this? Is this color okay?
It's finally time to figure out if they're gonna get married, because they said yes to the marriage and they're actually setting a date now. And I don't really know how this is gonna factor into everything since they still didn't figure out the money problems, but now they have to pay for a wedding. I guess for them, it's the act of marriage actually doing something so that Brandan can then work. So I guess this is pretty good.
Get white one. The total amount is 8,600.
Can we afford that?
We are selling cell phone.
Turns out that 2 things. Mary doesn't like the color red on Brandan. I've never seen a wife be like, don't wear that color, ew. But she wanted him to wear white as well. He might have stood her up if he wore like the dress. It's weird. But anyway, they're also now selling cell phones. It's another business they're doing where they're hustling and they're selling cell phones, making slightly bigger profit, and they can afford to pay for the wedding this way, or at least some of it, which is, hey, that's better. You're hustling.
I came up with this idea with one of my friends to sell cell phones in order to make money.
Holy shit, you came up with that idea, did you? Well. She came up with the idea to sell cell phones to make money. Someone called Steve Jobs on the cell phone that she sold him.
They give me a profit like 1K per unit.
Is there no way we could just do something a little simpler? I don't know what a Filipino wedding is like.
It's kind of like an American one, but with way more people and singing and happiness. Sorry, but yeah, kinda.
It feels like we're spending more money than we need to.
We can do it.
Okay. My mom's coming to visit to be here for our wedding.
It feels like Brandan doesn't give two shits about the wedding. He's just like, marry, cool. He would have just put the ring on her finger and be like, we're married now, if he could. I'm pretty sure, and I don't think that's most guys. For anyone saying like, most guys are like that, I'm not. And I'm pretty sure I know a lot of guys who actually want something to do with their wedding and think it's also their special day. So I don't know, Brandan just seems like he wants to get this shit over with, and he's just like, I don't want to spend too much money. Which is reasonable, but like, it's a wedding, dude. Like, it's your special day, come on.
And I want her to see that this is the right decision for me.
Oh, in a very changing twist that I didn't see coming, Brandan's mom is actually coming to the Philippines to be with him for the wedding, which is good because the mom wasn't there for most of Brandan's life, and I think it is very nice that she's making the trip all the way there and try and like support him, which is very good. Lovely.
How was your journey?
It was long. Hi. You're a buggy.
Oh my gosh, you know what she traveled like an American? Did you see how many bags she got? This is how many bags she came with. How long is she staying there? And if she's staying there that long, why does she have she couldn't buy clothes from the area? She got a big bag, a little smaller bag, and a big backpack. American tourism, huh? It's just like how people think it is.
Oh, this is Mary.
Mary, nice to meet you.
She also says there's a lot of poverty in the country and stuff, which is ironic coming from America. Yeah, I feel like she's just, unfortunately, sometimes the embodiment of American tourism isn't exactly lauded or, you know, well-liked by other people, mainly for the reasons people go to other countries and say it's not like America. And people say, duh, but yeah, Mary's kind of not really that happy that the mom is there, and they have a little animosity because last time they talked, remember, they fought.
Hug.
She has isolated my son, and behind closed doors, she's going to make my son's life a living hell. Now they're raising a child.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what we're thinking in the audience. You pretty much summed it up, Mama Bear. That's exactly correct. That's the fear. She's gonna make your son's life not really that good, and up until this point she's isolated your son from everything that he knows and taken away his only support system, and then tried to make him her support system without actually giving anything back to him, which I see as a red flag myself, and I'm not even his mother. So you know what I mean?
If I see is going to be destructive, I will say what I need to say.
I feel a lot of pressure. She will stay with me and Brandan.
Well, anyway, Brandon's mom comes over and she sees the house and is genuinely impressed. And you know what? It is a very impressive house considering, well, I mean, 60,000 American dollars in a different country that would, you know, really use the money could probably get you a lot. But she's very happy to see the house is in good shape and her son is doing pretty well.
Here's the kitchen. Got a fridge, stainless steel.
It's better than what I honestly expected. It's not a shack. It's an actual house.
Okay, I mean, like, you know, very nuanced racism aside, you have to excuse her for thinking that this dude lives in a literal shack. But I'm pretty sure that's how she might have seen any, like, you know, if I came up to her and said I live in Africa, she would probably think I live in a shack myself. And maybe I do, but you shouldn't think that.
Big spiders and stuff. And my mom is very, very scared of basically anything that has legs, exoskeleton.
So also there's a little scene that I'm pretty sure every mom feels like they don't like insects and animals. My mom always asks me to take out the spiders. I can't kill them, so I just usher them out. But Brandan, for whatever reason, shows his mom the exoskeleton of a spider where she's going to sleep. Brandan is a menace.
You remember when you said hug each other and I'm trying to hug, but she's like changing the conversation.
I didn't really see you try to hug her.
So that night, while she's sleeping, Mary and Brandan talk, and Mary explains that she doesn't really think that the mom's putting in an effort. Brandan tries to see it objectively, and Mary's like, objective to me is you defending her. So they have a little argument, nothing huge.
Defending her, so.
I'll get my mom to talk to you. I'm trying to break the ice a little and pull this prank on my mom.
So the next day, Brandan thinks that becoming Jake Paul from 2000 and whenever is the best idea, and he starts to prank his mom thinking that, you know, pranks are gonna they're gonna do well here. Whenever my mom is not feeling it, I'm gonna prank her until she feels it. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Crab Mom? And he gives her chicken, but it's actually frog, and he tells her it's baby chicken, and that's his prank. That's somehow going to bring her close to his wife. I don't know how.
They're like little chickens?
Yeah, but it's really delicious. Because they're young?
Yeah, they're babies. I'm not gonna put their body in my mouth.
Yeah, never should you put a baby's body in your mouth. Correct, lady. Well said.
You'll be happy to know they're not actually chickens.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's frog.
Well, that makes me feel better, actually.
Is it delicious?
Mm-hmm.
So they have a little joke and everything's going fun. She finds out that they're frogs and she's like, ha 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 ha. And then Mary asks, is it good? And she just like gives her like a mm-hmm. So clearly Mama and Mary are not really on talking terms still. And I think the mom is really kind of like angry that Mary has done this, or like taken away her son, and she doesn't feel like Mary's a good person yet. But that night, Brandan goes out with his mom and they start talking about things.
You don't just treat addiction by not using. The only thing that would make it complete is the rebuilding of a relationship with you.
In this moment, Brandan and his mom actually take time to look at each other's positions in life. He says that he's proud of her for getting clean and sober, and she says that truly the only way to make it complete is to rebuild the relationship with her son, and she will do whatever that takes. She asks what that would take, and then he says, building a relationship with my wife, which I think is a very stand-up thing to do, because he could have said anything, like buy me a car, and I would have said that. But instead, he's a very noble thing, and it's those things that he says without Mary being present that shows me this man really truly does care about this woman, because he wouldn't say that shit otherwise. He doesn't take the time to complain about her, instead uses that time to help build on a relationship that could better everyone's life. And I feel like this is a great moment of maturity in Brandan's growth.
I will try to build a healthy relationship. Appreciate that you are willing to give me a shot.
Even dads need their moms.
Genuinely the sweetest moment in the whole series, when she says thank you for letting me have that opportunity again. And I think this is good, just not for the show, but in general. Everyone deserves forgiveness. And I had an important person tell me once, you should exercise forgiveness the amount of times that you want to be forgiven. If you feel like if you make any mistake, you should never be forgiven, then you go ahead and say that. But if you want to be forgiven, you should forgive. And I feel like, I don't know, it's just very easy for people to throw away things these days. And it's nice to see that even after something that hurt the boy badly enough, he's willing to open himself up, and she's willing to accept the fact that she did something wrong and try again. It's always beautiful to see forgiveness. It's never too late to forgive someone. It's never too late to say you're sorry. Never. Sometimes it is. I don't know.
Mary is 24 weeks pregnant, so we got the first sonogram, and the doctor hid the baby's gender.
What a bitch. What kind of doctor does that? Oh, because you wanted him. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
In a plastic envelope so my mom can read it to us. If the baby is a boy, Mary would put a pie in my face. If the baby is a girl, I put a pie in her face.
If it's twins, they both put a pie in the mom's face. But yes, that's how they choose to do the gender reveal. Someone's getting pie in their face. Ha 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 ha. It also gives everyone a bonding opportunity.
We are trying to be better. Also me, I'm trying to be better myself, because even now I'm still overthinking and I can't handle it. My parents abandoned me.
Oh, okay. Yep. There we go. Parents abandoned. Look, it's not cool. It's really actually tragic. The amount of times she says it, sometimes just I'm like, oh yes, I remember this one. But it's, yeah, I think this moment actually serves as a good moment in the series, where Brandan's mom actually realizes maybe she will have to take on the role of mother for Mary as well. She realizes at that moment Mary might just be someone who needs help. She even tells both of them that they should go to therapy individually, which is the best decision these two could ever make, genuinely. Because they have so many problems and they need someone to help them work through it. Everyone needs help. It is not a knock on you for needing help. It's a knock on you if you don't actually get the help that you need sometimes.
Both of you doing individual therapy. When you guys work on those separately, you will function better.
This is good, man. Having the mom there seems like such a good thing for both of them, because since that's happened, these two are now listening, they're both trying to be better. I kind of wish, in a little way, they would go to America instead of being in the Philippines, or at least have mama come over a little more often to straighten things out, because you see now that these two are just kids in the grand scheme of things and they need help. And it's good that they're getting it.
Thank you for listening and thank you for considering, that.
We'll promise you we'll do that.
I think it's a girl, or it might be a boy. I don't care, but someone gets pie in their face.
You're gonna eat that? Oh no, oh hell no, what the you?
And everything's going wonderful. I mean, it has to be going wonderful when your to-be husband says, fuck you! That's great. Everyone loves that. But then the next day, we see a picture of Jesus on the wall, and you know things are not looking good because Mary's praying by herself.
This morning, we got a huge fight over money. I'm stressed because it's always me budgeting money and taking care of the debt.
Ooh! Need I remind you, he literally built the house that you couldn't afford, but okay. Yes, it's always her doing it. Okay, alright. Fuck it, fine. Whatever. Lately, it's probably always been her.
I'm really worried and I'm now at my 50-50 marrying Brandan because I don't want to live with a man like that.
That's the most gangsta marriage ever. Do you know what they should do on Love is Blind? They should have a couple and the couple's like, I don't know if we're gonna get married. And at the altar, either the guy or the girl goes, call it. Heads we get married, tails we don't. 50-50 marriage? That's the coolest thing I've ever heard, in like the worst way. I mean, you should be pretty sure about marrying someone since it's going to be for the rest of your life. But 50-50 at the altar? That sounds like a fun movie to me, man. The Rock should be in it.
Hi. What happened?
She's crying is what happened. I can see it in her eyes. Got 9 there. Can we go for 10?
Like he's blaming me that I don't know how to budget.
You don't marry the person that you can live with. You marry the person that you can't live without.
Damn. Bro, mom came to just drop jewels on everyone, didn't she? This is not really going to help with the money problems, I will say. If she came with slightly more money and less bags, that would help. But turns out that Brandan's mom actually really is trying to help. So much so that she goes to Mary without Brandan, without needing to help her, and actually offers some solid advice, which just shows the growth of the mom in this whole series. I think her character arc is probably the best one out of everyone's. It's sad that they're fighting about money again, but God, it's the wedding day.
You are going to make a great mother, and you will have the ability to be a really great wife. But you guys are starting really young. It's going to take some time.
Absolutely true. It takes time to know each other fully. There's always things you learn about people. But yeah, I mean, you know what? The mom is really doing well. And her actually hyping up Mary gives Mary like that validation that she says that she can't get from, you know, like she never had a mom to do that.
Today is my wedding day, and I've been waiting for so long for this moment.
I feel like I'm not ready to marry him.
Ooh, that's two conflicting emotions. One person can't wait to get married, one person can't wait to get it over with. That's really not the way that you should want to get married, but it's marriage day, guys.
Because he still didn't reassure me.
Okay, I'm gonna put that down as a red flag, the fact that Mary don't, it's their marriage day and Mary don't want to get married. Mary don't, okay, I'm not even gonna fully write that one out. Get married. Just imagine I actually wrote things.
That I can trust him to be man enough to be a father and my future husband.
Remember when she said man enough to be a farmer? Now she's like man enough to be a husband and a father. Oh, God. Are you man enough to be a farmer? Are you man enough to pick up crops? And then next, like, are you man enough to be a father? Are you man enough to pick up crap and diapers? Yeah, dude.
My lolo can't attend the wedding because he's working and it just feels weird today.
So they set a wedding date and then the grandpa couldn't make it. I don't know if he just wanted to not work wanted to not be there, or he actually had work. I'm just assuming he did. But she feels pretty sad and thinks that it's a bad sign or a bad omen that the marriage is not going to go well for some reason.
I'm worried that it is a bad sign.
You're getting married. You know, man up.
I hear you.
Yeah. Are you man enough to be a farmer? I mean, father? Or both? A farmer? A farming father? A founding father? Farming? Bitch? Are you?
Come here.
Thanks, Mom. When I met Mary, everyone was thinking, oh, no, this is not good.
Yeah, exactly. The whole list suggests that it is indeed not good still.
I've moved across the world, had a lot of ups and downs, and now not only am I getting married, but we have a child on the way.
That sounds like a lot of like bullshit, actually. Now that you mention it, it doesn't actually sound like she did anything for you in return besides ride you.
You ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey.
I just want to say something. I don't mean to ruin Brandon's special moment, but some people say things like, yeah, look at us now, we're getting married. And it's almost like they think they're in a movie, because in the movie, sometimes the character marries the other character, and then the movie rolls credits. I don't know if you guys understand that marriage goes on. Like, after you say I do, you still have to live the rest of your life. You can't be like, yeah, we showed you guys. You can still get divorced and have a shitty life after. Believe it or not, it seems like more and more people, after they get married, seem to share that opinion. I don't know, Brandon. I don't feel like this is like we made it. I feel like you need to actually get married and then see 5-10 years after. Are you guys doing okay?
Hey, bro. Hey. This is our mayor.
Hello, Mr. Mayor. Didn't have a lot going on that day, I guess. He was like, I want to see the world's most toxic couple. This is going to be a Guinness World Record. I'm going to marry the world's most toxic couple in this city right here.
He is running the wedding.
Okay.
Do you know any of these people?
Yeah, he knows the mayor. And he's marrying them because he's breaking the world Guinness record, world fucking record for fucking marrying the world's couple toxic. I could have said that better, but it's toxic.
I don't know most of these people.
I know that our love...
Did some guy show up in a shirt that... What? He showed up in a shirt that said 9205 FUBU. Did they not have any dress code at this wedding? It was like, just show up, bro. The mayor's gonna be here. At least dress in your 9205 FUBU shirt.
Am I really getting married to her? You could pinch me. Like, I need to know that this is really happening.
I'd pinch you. I didn't tell you not to. But, you know what? I'm just gonna take the sweet approach here. I think that there's a little moment when Brandan actually talks about her and he says like, wow, this girl is so beautiful. You can almost see in his eyes, like just for a split second, all of this shit doesn't matter. He forgot all. And that's actually cute, although it's really bad. It's very cute that you could almost see that all of the fighting and everything went away when he saw her and realized this is one of the biggest moments of our lives. And I think that's the driving force between their marriage. They have those moments, evidently, that make them feel that way. It's more so this, unfortunately, and I don't know if realistically this is going to be a good marriage, but like in those certain moments, you can see glimpses of good stuff.
We are gathered here today to witness the formal joining of Brandan and Hiram. Can you give a few words?
Yes, getting married with Brandan. I wish he did call him Brandan. We are now here to witness Brandan. Do you want to marry Mary?
You will never have to worry about me abandoning you.
So then he asked Brandan to say a couple words, and they say a couple words, and then he also asked Hiram to say a couple words too.
I see my future with you. I love you more than anything.
I just want you to know that I love you so much. I know that we're fighting a lot, but I want to spend my whole life with you forever.
Oh, that's a gangster, isn't it? Woo! Like the vow. I know that we fight a lot. But if we could just go 2 days without fighting, maybe we can have this baby and I won't throw a fist at your face when you wake up, Brandon. I want to marry you. You're the punching bag that I love. Don't you get it? Wow. Imagine saying that in front of the mayor. I know we're fighting a lot. The mayor's like, yes, toxic relationship. She said it in the vow. She said they're fighting. Guinness World Records. Where are you?
Do you take Brandan to be your lawful-wedded husband?
I do.
Do you take Hiram?
I do.
And then Brandan and Hiram get married. Yes, I reversed her name. I found it funny. I just do things, okay? They share a little smoochie and things are going great. In fact, the wedding looks beautiful.
Here in the Philippines, there's no divorce and he doesn't have a way to leave me.
Haha, one more red flag just to add to the fucking thing. No divorce in the Philippines. which means he ain't never leaving.
I'm looking over and there's like this fog rolling in. And I realized that's not a fog, that's a lot of bugs.
So just like the plague in Egypt, there's a random like locust sort of bugs start plaguing the wedding all out of nowhere, out of just thin air. There seems to be this absolute plague of bugs and they go everywhere into the cake and everything. And in fact, the reception cannot be had because it's so wild that everyone has to go home. In fact, Brandan almost loses the ring because he drops it while taking it off and has to look for it in the swarm of locusts or whatever these bugs are.
Like I'm doing this and my ring came off. I don't know what happened to it. It's a total disaster.
That's not a bad sign for your wedding or a bad omen. I don't really know what is.
Here it is. Found it. We didn't even get to eat cake.
My God. I'm just gonna go to bed.
So anyway, they go home, Brandan finds the ring, and they take the cake out of their box, scoop out the bugs, and have a little piece.
Really proud of both of you. Give me a hug.
He really loves me that we won't leave each other no matter what.
The whole episode and series ends with the fact that now Brandan is able to look for a job, possibly fixing their monetary problems. The baby is on the way. They are finally married. And in spite of that horrible, horrific swarm of locusts, they managed to share a beautiful moment with each other eating the cake alone, showing that they persevere through everything. Now, when I watched this, I thought, yes, that is such a cool end to the story. I actually was sitting up here, almost tearing up. I was genuinely happy for these two, and I thought, it's gonna be fine. They're gonna grow up and grow out of this. And then I saw the tell-all. Let me show you some.
Insecure or jealous of other girls, but she's also trying to like, you know, post videos of her in a bikini and stuff like that.
Yeah. This is the tell-all. Brandan's looking a little more bootylicious. He's got a little more of a mustachio. Mary's looking there just sad, and we're dealing with the fact that Mary is posting bikini pics and he's not allowed to really go on social media.
She's like shaking her ass.
Get swiped. Get swiped.
Need I remind you that she's a mom now? So at some point her baby's gonna grow up and be like, wow, teach me that move that made daddy make me.
She's shaking her ass on social media, but doesn't want Brandan to do anything.
It's the double standard about
Yeah,
him.
she would not. If he was shaking his button in his Speedo,
I don't think anybody would. Whatever that sentence ends in, I don't think anybody would, dude.
Tolerate that at all.
Nobody would, dude. Nobody. Seriously? Nobody wants to see Brandan shaking his ass in a thong or whatever guys wear.
It's a dance. I'm not like.
Yeah, it is a dance, but so is boogieing. If you want to express yourself, go ahead. But Mary being the Mary that she is, knowing the fact that she literally went to church and told him not to look at girls, seems a very, very hypocritical of her to say that. That's all I'm saying. Also, she's a mama. And like, I personally, if I have childs and little babies, I'm not going to be shaking my ding-dong, waving it like a helicopter around everywhere, okay? I think at this point, it's like, let me raise my kids, not raise my dick, you know?
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, but you're doing it.
Okay, a lot of people smoke crack, Mary. Doesn't mean you have to.
Mary, and you're this very controlling person towards your husband.
Shikana, your boyfriend is okay with you going with that.
Oh, this is not actually defending yourself. Seems like this Mary has learned nothing in terms of arguments. Instead of actually taking criticism, she just starts telling people what they can and can't do, which is not really a way to actually help your own situation. But yeah, we've got this random back and forth between Mary and this other girl.
What if he was liking them and looking at those kind of videos of other girls?
Good point.
I care about that, but he doesn't do that.
There's a reason he doesn't do it, Mary. Because he's not allowed to. Because if he does, there's going to be another fight. He's only allowed to like your pictures and ass shaking. But even if he comments too much on that, you might get jealous because it's a video of you and not you currently.
I think she was trying to get a rise out of Brandan, and in turn, it would make her feel more loved if he was like, you're not to post stuff like that.
Interesting theory by that puppet there. I thought it was just for validation because she seeks it not just from Brandan, but from random other people because he is not sufficient enough for her. And I would say that's the mark of a bad relationship, a red flag perhaps. I feel like if you're secure in yourself, you can do things. And obviously, I think it's fine to post like, you know, stuff like that if you're secure in your relationship. But that comes with the other person being allowed to do the same thing, perhaps. It doesn't work if there's only one side. That's all I'm saying.
Since she and I have started talking, she has become more confident in her posting her body online.
Brandan sounds like the type of guy to be like, she has now taken to OnlyFans, and I think that she's just doing it so well. And I hope other guys are feeling the same when they stroke it to my wife.
I'm dating an American man now. He has these American standards and all these American girls do this, so I should do it too, right? I'm supportful of it.
Okay, first of all, the word supportive, dumbass. Secondly, way to just throw American girls under the bus as if they all randomly twerk their way to work every day. I would go out on a limb and say that American girls are just as lovely as everyone else, and not all of them do that. And even if they do twerk, it doesn't mean they're not lovely. It just means that not everyone is the exact same. So her thinking all American girls does it, so she does it too, is not a sign of confidence. Someone needs to have a conversation and say, American girls are not just twerkaholics. They all have personalities too. What?
For Mary, I just want to say something. I believe that she's a manipulator.
Like you.
She can play victim.
And then, yeah, this puppet explains that she's a manipulator. And then this guy is like, you're a manipulator. He's clearly, there's something here. But then this guy explains something that was really good before the episode ends.
When she's a female, she's a control.
I'm not.
You're a control freak. Just the same
Control
thing.
freak is different from the manipulator. Manipulator plays victim.
And then he ends by saying probably the most real shit ever. The manipulator plays victim. And I thought about it at the end of everything and felt that because of this last thing where Mary's posting and then saying that he can't do the same, it just reflects her behavior from every other thing that I've seen. And it made me sad because I can see that they don't actually care. Now I had a look, they also have the baby on TikTok that they're trying to monetize, and I personally have a vendetta against people putting their kids on social media because your kids are not meal tickets. Instead, you should actually fend for them. I'm just saying. Anyway, the amount of times that I think I went back and thought about Mary's actions and asked myself, what did she do to circumvent this? What did she do to prevent this? Is she taking responsibility? And the answer was always no. Just leads me to believe that Brandan, Cuckman, is not in the best position that he should be. Pardon me. Let me just apologize for that last statement. Brandan, I hope that he's in a good relationship. Obviously, I can't control it, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna be the healthiest of relationships if this keeps up. It's very sad, and I think without a doubt, this is the most toxic girl that I've ever seen on 90 Day Fiance. That was my whole deep dive. If you agree with me, leave it in the comments. Not tell me why you don't, or tell me another couple who you think is toxic, because I'd love to take a look at them. This was long, and I hope that you watched it and enjoyed it. Please take care of yourselves. My throat hurts. These are not sentences, I should say, in that order. I love you guys. Take care, and I hope to see you on the next video soon. Bye-bye.
It's going down just like all of your dreams. I got phenomenal cream and I do beats wavy like sea. I get it wetter than water. I might just smash on your daughter. I might just trade in the sun for a Porsche, piping it down like the pauper.